Welcome, everybody. It is my pleasure to be here today at the Masters of Steel land in Copenhagen. It is time for us to jump into our first game of the day. We're panning over Cliffside here. Very, very beautiful map. We got these huge cliffs there in the middle, lots of gold there. That's where players want to be on. But you have to be so careful here. We've got Beasty in the color yellow, playing as the Juji's Legacy. He's up against Wam01 in the color blue, playing as Jean d'Arc here at Masters of Steel.
Indeed, and let's take a look at this map. Wham on the north side, a little kind of tucked in to the cliff itself.
I like the spawn from Beasty, looking at it. Like, you got the gold not at the front side, but a little bit tucked to the side here, right next to a wood line. That gives you ample opportunities to like put an outpost on the right side, put like a little palisade wall on the left side. Makes it very, very difficult for Jean to really find any good engagement points there onto the gold. And the gold is probably like the key here for Beasty. With Juji's Legacy, we're probably going to be seeing pro scouts coming in at some point down the line. Very early on, typically. Just players pro scouting. So the food tends to be very safe inside the base, next to TC, next to a mill. That is not something that you can realistically touch. So in order to deny, or rather delay the unit production of your opponent in Castle Age, what you want to hit is that gold vein.
Yeah, we saw when Beasty played French, he actually did have a game where he did skip out on pro scouts just to play aggressive and to deny pro scouts himself. What I'm curious about, though, is both of these deer packs for Beasty are to the right. If Wham were to do some hyper-aggressive thing, his base is to the right, the deer are to the right. There's a chance that if he's able to start denying that first deer pack while it's going back with his first knight, if he's able to get on the map fast with units, there's like Beasty can't just swing to the left to grab some more deer. All the other deer are on the right side unless he goes way up to the other corner of the map, which, let's just be real, that's not super feasible early on, and that's not really what you go pro scouts to do. So I think we're going to have to see Beasty put a pretty big emphasis on those spearmen early on. If Wham is going to only have one knight, maybe it's okay, but I don't know. If Wham just goes all out aggression and skips pro scouts himself, potentially.
Yeah, I mean, something to take note right now is we got to check out the pathing here, the scout pathing that Wham did, because he got more than the majority of the sheep here. Look at that. This guy is a shepherd right now, 13 sheep following after that scout. He did a very interesting scouting route there all the way around Beasty's base and did manage to sneak a lot of the sheep there. And it looks like Beasty was trailing his scout there for quite a while, meaning that in the end, he is really going to have to rely on that pro scout. You mentioned it, Winston, all the deer on one and the same side. That is the perfect spot for Wham to harass and to delay that pro scouting. Meditation Garden now coming in for Beasty. Not the best spot, I want to say. You're getting double gold there. You are going to be getting the wood line as well. We're looking at roughly, I want to say, like 80 resources per minute. No food, though.
Yeah, notably no food. I think that's a really big deal here. If Wham is able to put pressure on that hunt, I think Beasty could run into trouble. Like you said, some sheep issues, some no food on the meditation gardens, like no back berries there for him to grab. This could be spicy, and we always know that JD, French, both of them alike, they love having a bunch of sheep. That just makes their game so much easier. And look at that, 17 to 12 is an advantage. Not the biggest swing, or 16 to 12, sorry. I guess one probably just got bonked.
It looks like Beasty managed to get in enough sheep here after all to at least be fine. Yeah, sometimes it is like that, right, on map generations, right? Like we just saw Beasty scout with 4 sheep, and then a couple seconds later, maybe he found one spot where there were like 6 sheep huddling next to each other. Looks like he managed to get a good bunch of sheep there still in the end with his scout. So he should be looking fine. We're seeing the stable now coming in for him. Both players working on that pro scout timing. First night already out for Wham, though, before either of these players have clicked pro scout yet.
Yeah, I think Wham is going to be trying to follow up with pro scouts. It somewhat looks like his macro setup to do that, unless there's maybe he's going wheelbarrow and still knights, but no, yeah, pro scouts is going to be the play here. So not the most aggressive option. He is going to go try and deny that goal, but at this point, that's not the most valuable thing. He's on the wrong side to even deny the prof scouts itself, but I guess he will be swinging over now, looking for that deer.
Tanking a TC shot there. These early TC shots hurt a lot, because this isn't just a normal TC, but the hand cannon and placement there from the Juji's Legacy. So a lot of damage already done to that first knight. Barracks now coming in for Beasty, so we'll be getting some spearmen in to take further control over these deer spots there on the side. Wham at the moment still only just adding in more and more of these scouts for his own pro scout play. Can we take a quick look at his base? Is there already an archer range being prepped behind this? There it is. Archer range already coming in for him, so he's going to have the answer to the spearman from Beasty very, very shortly here.
Yeah, but there's going to be enough spears, so this one knight really not going to get all that much done. I'm not sure there's a ton of space to even deny any of the scouts here until that archer's across. I mean, JD herself could maybe try and find a way here. Oh,
okay, spearman still. No hardened upgrade on them yet. And there's JD. JD, the perfect answer.
Yeah.
Spearman.
And now there is a chance to deny. JD's on the field.
Chasing after the spearman. Beasty doing a good job of separating the knight from the scouts. JD herself doesn't have the most damage. She doesn't do any bonus damage in her melee form as well, so the scouts are able to tank that quite effectively.
Yeah, and you can see JD there just trying to whittle down the forces here of Beasty, and that could mean that those knight charges are going to be even more potent if you're able to get that charge trick on him. Zhugnu now going to be the play from Beasty, trying to get enough of them probably to deal good damage. And is the charge off cooldown? Oh, it doesn't look like.
No, it's just barely still on cooldown, yeah. Not able to go for the twirl this time around. Wam with the archers, it's always an issue, right? Like, when you're making archers up against Zhugnu, it never feels good. Zhugnu just doing so much more damage against the unarmored units there, meaning that Wam at the moment, he doesn't really have a suitable army composition against what Beasty has, but he does do a good job, at least for the time being, of delaying the pro scouts, and buys himself, in turn, a lot of time here, getting his own here into his base. Nice twirl.
He might go down here.
She's so tanky in the early stages.
I thought there was almost a surround there with the spears, but one did go down. See that HP really starting to stack up.
Yeah.
And now JD just goes and heals, but this is more time for the Zhugnu mass to build. Like you said, that is starting to get scary. 10 on the field, Horseman on the way for Beasty, so Beasty going to go for that full composition here. And Wam going to be lacking the spears early on. We could see a rough cleanup if he doesn't start adding spears maybe, or enough knights to just sort of fully hold this front line. And with only 3 on the field soon, it doesn't feel like a ton at this moment.
Yeah. Now, Wam, he did do a good job of adding in a second stable at this point in time as well. It looks like he's trying to take away some of the deer here from his opponent. Still has a knight nearby, so should be able to bring that one home, or at least move it quite a bit further. Might need to drop it in between just for a little bit here, as the scouts from Beasty are harassing his own scout there. But most importantly is Ram's army composition. He needs like 10 to 12 archers most of the time just to be able to one-shot spearmen. Other than that, he mainly will want to just go into full-on knights here, and he did add an additional stable, so that should definitely be the way that he plays this here. Ooh, scout went down.
Yeah, to that really low HP spearman, we saw Beasty pull that off. And, gonna go. Another scout gonna go down. Oh, but the army could get caught there.
Yeah, okay, the horseman is going to be able to do some good damage here.
Wow.
To these archers. Archers might just, yeah, there we go. He's picking off a couple of the spears. Maybe, slight misclick there. Sean is going to be able to make it out alive, but a couple of the archers here going down for Wam. And this is difficult because, as mentioned, you want to have at least 10 to 12 archers up at all time in order to be able to one-shot the spearmen.
Yeah. And without that mass here, now Wam going to be giving up map control probably for a bit. That's going to mean Beasty should be able to get the rest of his deer. And if he keeps just sending spears now to that north side, he might even be able to deny Wam's second deer pack, which is certainly not the opening Wam was looking for. Look at the numbers. We're about to get to 6 knights, and there's so many units on the field for Beasty. This production is just out of control. And now defending the gold is Jean. The knights, though, going to get a tough engagement.
Zhugnu trying to find the engagement onto the villagers. Villagers making it out alive, though. There's enough knights here, I want to say. Just not enough archers yet. There's a gold vein in the back that Wam could, in theory, go out to.
Wam is starting to get some of these blacksmith upgrades coming in. That could be a good way to get an advantage, but Beasty starting to look for that Castle Age as kind of a counterpoint to that. Maybe just getting some Castle veteran upgrades could just be a stronger way. Starting to get Lancers of his own on the field could be a great way to deal with these French Knights. A solid... I'd say this is starting to look quite good for Beasty. I'm not sure how Wam's army is ever going to compete with this. His gold is so low. His age up is going to be so far behind. And his Knight mass is just nowhere to be seen. He's just at 6. He's picking Horseman.
He didn't have gold, so Horseman, the only real choice that he had. We did see Pierce damage coming in first for him. That's now completed. Pierce armor only just now coming in. And it's going to be a similar timing, I want to say, to Beasty's Pierce damage. The issue is, though, Beasty can supervise it. Once again, Villagers getting idled off the gold there. That is so critical for Wam at the moment. The Horseman just not feeling as good. Oh, the Archers, you cannot step up too close here to Jugunu. They just deal so well against them.
And here we see Beasty able to start taking both the secondary deer packs at the same time, basically. This is such a huge benefit to him over Wam, and that's going to just keep contributing to a better food economy in this mid-game as we start to approach Castle Age, potentially for Beasty. Wam's still just miles behind in terms of that resource stockpile.
Yeah, JD, she's only halfway up to the next age, but this might be the fight. This might be the fight that Wam needs. Next upgrade is so close to completing.
But the Knights are so low HP, 2 of them already could go down, and that would leave only 4 on the field. Just 7 Knights. The Horsemen are not going to bring the punch to this fight that Wam needs, so he's forced to retreat back to the Sacred Site. Beasty now aging up with the Mount Lu. Gonna start getting these upgrades. He can supervise them really quickly. Wam, is he going to... He has to make a choice. Is he going to back off or force an engagement? There's some opportunities here maybe for him to get some damage in, but the fight, I'm not even sure if he wins it at the moment with several of his units still at his base.
There's no other choice at the moment. He's not going to get a better fight in. Beasty behind us, he's very actively feathering the gold there just in preparation. There's a single Spearman causing so much damage. Now with the age up, veterancy on the Jugunu being researched. This one Spearman just been having a field day here at the moment. He is slowly getting taken down by the main TC from Wam. And with the veterancy upgrade on the Jugunu, they're going to be able to do good damage even up against those Knights. And Beasty has a very good mass of these Jugunuans, so this upgrade definitely is going to be used effectively here for him. Wam is falling back. It looks like he wants to go for his own age up, but Beasty now on the aggressive.
Can we check the deer pack for Wam on the top right? Did that Spearman deny it, or is there just one here
There's
still?
Just one remaining.
There's just one remaining, but like Wam really didn't get a lot of deer. You know, we're looking at 900 food now for him right now, but how many deer are left? Does he have idle vills soon under his TC? I guess he had so many sheep, but...
There's an outpost here. Jugunu, they're just charging in deeper though, taking down the archers. Archers from Wam. He's trying to snipe out the Spearman behind this. Pierce armor level 2 coming in as well. Fight is being taken now.
There's gonna get the heal off and retreat, but she goes down. The Knights have to retreat. The spear line uncontested. There's not enough archers to one-shot basically at this point with the upgrades that Beasty has. The unit mass just there for Beasty. The gold miners are exposed. John Dark bought back, almost instantly taken out. The heal on cooldown, so it's going to be a while before she's battle fit.
And Wam, he just had to reinvest so much of his gold into additional units now. He is getting away further and further from the age up at this point. This is where it starts becoming more and more problematic now for him. There's a good mass up here.
We are starting to look closer to JD Tier 3. Does this change anything?
I mean, you're getting a lot of really strong units in time, and JD will no longer take like any meaningful damage. I want to say, but she gets sniped again! JD critical time here, and now she's not able to be brought back anytime soon. The Spearman and the Jugunu just dancing out here. Archers trying their best in order to reduce the Spearman mass, but there's still plenty of them out there. Beasty still also reinvesting into them. Knights are starting to move in deeper and deeper though. A lot of them on low health though. Is this a position that Wam can realistically hold here? It looks like for the time being, Beasty is gonna withdraw at least a little bit here, but Wam, he's hurting. He does not yet have the gold to age up.
At Beasty, he was waiting for that opportunity to fight. One of the things about playing against JD is you can't take really bad trades. You have to find a way to kill her before you take a fight. Otherwise, you just can't grant a lot of XP. You saw as soon as she went down, he was okay to trade against the Knights. Keep the numbers low. Just keep building his advantage. Now, he's going to start being able to do things on the back half of this. We might be seeing a monastery being built soon. Start grabbing some of these relics. Start doing some macro things. Maybe start building some farms because the Prop Scout food is starting to run out for both players. So we could see a mild lull, but with Wam still unable to age up, he's going to have to train even more Knights to hold here potentially. Although he might have enough. There's not a huge force here from Beasty. Just a few Lancers, but there are 8 on the field, so there might be a raid sneaking around the side pretty soon.
Yeah,
oh, the villagers.
So much damage. Villagers.
Still not enough gold.
Moves them towards the
Still
outpost.
not enough gold.
Yeah. He's got some villagers now on the backside there, trying to get that last little bit that he needs for the age up. But realistically, his base is now no longer a safe point, and Beasty, he now has more Castle Age Knights than Wam does. JD has now returned to the field. She's still missing XP.
If you thought the Zhugnu were bad for her on the field, there are now 11 crossbows.
Yeah, and she does have that heavy armor unit attack, and before level 3 she does not get any ranged damage reduction in. So at the moment she's a very squishy target for those crossbows.
This ranged mass will simply one-tap her at this point unless she's able to somehow get the experience going. Wam, desperate for some gold, send the villagers out, but there's nothing to be done there. There's absolutely nothing to be done. Beasty, a solid villager lead at this point. 5 villagers down, army value almost doubling. Wam on the back ropes here. Oh, and the villagers. Oh, no.
He's getting idled out now by a single knight. Wam, he just cannot find a rest here. No opportunity for him to go for the age up now. And we can see on the retreat, these knights just taking heavy damage. Villagers getting idled out. John moving forward again, and she just gets sniped out immediately yet again. And surely there is no way back now. The crossbows tearing apart these feudal age knights. And yeah, at this point, we give a peaceful head shake here. GG comes in. Game number 1. Being taken by Beasty.
And that was pretty convincing. I mean, we kind of talked about it right before that game started. Like, what does JD really get to do in that early opening? It's a bit tricky.
Yeah, this is a rough one. Now, at the very least, Beasty, he just used Juji up against JD, right? So it's expected that there's a victory here. Wam might feel at least like, okay, I might have just thrown away one of my weaker civilizations. So potentially now he's going to be in a better spot when it comes to the remainder of the draft. I think we had like a little window there of opportunity just when Beasty was aging up to the Castle Age and, you know, the armies, they spotted each other there in the middle of the map. Wam, he was hesitating there. He did not want to go for the engagement yet. I think maybe that should have been like his best opportunity to go for the engagement, get some additional experience, because your opponent's army is never going to be weaker than the moment that they age up. So that was like the one moment in time where we can actually see the military value lead being on the side of Wam. After that, it just kept increasing further and further in Beasty's favor. We'll see how exactly this one's going to work out as we're moving in to our game number 2 now. Beautiful cinematic shot here as we're once again moving around here on the map. This one is going to be on 4 lakes. So we got those 4 lakes here in the corner. We've got in the color red. That was our Knights Templar player. So Wam in the color red as the Knights Templar, his opponent Beasty in the color yellow, playing as the Mongols here. We see the early Uwu coming in, and following that one up immediately now with the dog play as soon as he gets enough wood for it.
Yeah, and one of the tricks I think that Beasty had against Wam's Knights Templar, or sorry, Louis' Knights Templar, was he had just a couple of Mangudai early game, and that was his technique for dealing with, you know, pilgrims. It was his technique for dealing with just forcing those Woodvilles to be much more focused on being defensive, and really it took all of Louis' energy, I think, just to deal with the raids. But one notable thing was, I think Louis didn't wall a ton, and Wam walls, it's a thing. It's there for a reason. It's a great way to stop Mangudai from running circles, full circles around your base for the entirety of the game. We'll see if maybe Wam adapts some of those walls early into his game plan, because it could be a counter if he saw exactly how Beasty beat Louis. Maybe he's thinking about how to beat it himself.
Yeah. Now, one of the advantages that you have, of course, as a Knights Templar up against the Mongols is that you're getting a lot of additional food in from those lumberjacks. And on top of everything else, you also just have that little bit of bonus tempo going, right? Like the Beasty with the Mongols, he invested into the Uwu first, so had to spend 150 wood on that one. That means that Wam, he gets the stock up quite a bit earlier, and we do see that manifest in quite the early villager lead here. Khan, doing just the typical Khan things here, being a little bit annoying, means that Wam is going to have that to pull that villager away, else he's going to lose it if he doesn't.
And that's going to be relevant later. Every hurt villager that the Khan can damage now, it does add up. And we do see more damage comes in on the wood line later, probably, unless Wam is going to keep a scout here for forever, which would mean he gives up scout info. Oh, and even getting a sheep there for Beasty. But yeah, we'll see if this is going to be a similar play to before, because we did see that it was, you know, Deerstones, a Khan Hunter, and several Mangudai, just a group of, like, I think 6, and it was just running in circles forever.
Yeah, it's very difficult dealing with that, but look at that. We're getting a proxy barracks in here now from Wam. Is this just going to be mass spearmen now in order to take care of the dock and maybe the Uvu afterwards? He did scout the position of it, so he knows it's there.
I wonder if it's just for... Okay, so it is for spearmen now, and he can... Once he ages up, if he goes Hospitaller, which has been sort of the general go-to, a couple of those Hospitaller Knights can really help deal with the Mangudai harassment. You're just able to heal some of your hurt units every now and then, and it means that the Mangudai are kind of forced to take more permanent trades, which isn't really their strong suit.
Exactly, exactly. Do have the first spearman now moving out, so Beasty probably isn't going to be getting too much value out of that. And there's still a villager out there. He hasn't moved back yet. It's only one spearman out there yet. Beasty, is he going to realize it? He does realize it. Villager is getting pulled back. Nice movement here by Wam. Is trying to body block the villager, but realize, okay, only with a single spearman, he's not going to be able to kill that one in time. Now focuses onto the dock instead.
Yeah, that's curious. I'm a little surprised by this adaptation because it feels like part of what you're doing is maybe giving up some of that speed on the Egypt that is generally the strong suit of Knights Templar, but I guess this is another way to handle the... You know, this is another way to deal with the dock, right? It's been a tried and true method with a lot of civs, so why not Knights Templar? They're going to be great at it, surely, right?
Exactly. Villager is moving back towards all the other Spearmen now as well. Spearman trying his best to make sure that Khan isn't getting too many arrows off up against that Villager there. And I guess he's just going to use that Villager now in order to help torch down the dock and maybe get his own dock up on that pawn. And we see Beasty, though. His Villager is moving out towards... I want to say either the top corner. Yeah, he's moving. Oh my god, double wolf!
Double wolf!
Double wolf, the bitey infantry there. Am I going to see any e-spot headshakes here from Beasty in the camera? No e-spot headshake.
Oh.
Oh, it's not
yeah,
too there we go. There was a slight lip movement there.
Yeah, there was a little bit. Oh, but Wham! Potentially even going to spot this Villager. That would be massive for him.
And there we go, he starts hitting him.
And that Vill's a bit low, immediately sends a spear. Wham, very aware here. That Villager still potentially getting low on the side of Wham. You think he'll finish that?
Sure. He should be getting that one up in time.
That scout is just tickling that Villager at this time.
Yeah.
Another spearman is coming.
Yeah, he's trying his best there. The charge should be coming in, maybe in time. Actually, this is getting super close. This is getting super close now. One more hit. He gets it in time. That is so big now. Dock needs to be cancelled. Beasty no longer has control over the top pond.
But Beasty is up to Feudal Age. Kingdom of France, a neat idea here. Able to maybe use the Chevalier Confrere as an answer. Yeah, that could be interesting.
We still have a villager from Wam here on this top pond. I think maybe we do. Yeah, he's sending another villager out there. Maybe the Khan. Yeah, it looks like the Khan killed the other villager.
Yeah, it's 1-1.
Yeah.
Beasty able to sneak up to the north side. The scout not going to be there to catch it. Two Mangudai double produced are going to be there. That will be enough to handle these spearmen now. They have enough. As long as Beasty doesn't mess up the micro, which can be difficult, you have to pay constant attention. And with the villagers on the north, this could be a problem for him. We'll see.
Looks like Beasty, he is splitting off the spearmen. But the dog, it's going to go up. Wham, he didn't notice it.
And the double wolf is now on Wham's villager. What is the value here for Kingdom of France for Knights Templar here?
Yeah, we're not getting any Chevalier in any time soon at the moment, as Wam is mostly busy right now focusing on the waterfront. But one of the main benefits that you're getting with Kingdom of France as well is that faster unit production, which can help Wam. I think he just spotted out the villagers, did just notice, okay, there was another dock that went up on the side from Beasty. So now he knows, okay, water here is going to get contested for sure. And we are seeing the first Chevalier coming in, but I do want to say, like, I don't think Chevalier is the right answer up against the Mangudai. They don't do any bonus damage, and they have equal movement speed, so they'll probably need something else here to help them out as well.
The question is, does BC know about this dock?
He can probably assume it.
Yeah, he's assumed. And
yeah.
It's been correct. Okay. Because there's a chance, I mean, he killed the Vil, right? So maybe he just thought... Yeah.
So now Archer ship is coming in instead, going for a Springle ship straight away. We're also seeing Pilgrimage being researched here at the moment.
Oh, the Vil has been spotted.
He spotted him. That's going to be one Vil down. Wham, he's got a couple more fishing ships, though. So it's not the end of the world here for him, and we do see the Chevalier walking. Where's he walking towards? He walked towards the gold. He does see the villagers in gold. Could start harassing over there a little bit, but there's an outpost. Okay, nicely played there by Beasty. Chevalier finding some of the Mangadai here.
What's really interesting about this opening from Wam is that he already even has safe passage. So that gold trickle is coming in, and the Mangadai haven't even crossed to his half of the map just yet. If he's able to keep them occupied with these Knight Chevalier, that's going to be a pretty good situation for him, right? Buys a lot of time to set up his now archer mess. He's starting to build walls on the right side of his base. An important adaptation, I believe, to stopping this Mangadai mass is keeping them in their base to start and then walling up behind. But losing a lot of stuff here. Oh,
yeah, the Mangadai really coming in full force here. That forward Deerstone also just providing them with so much movement speed here. Chevalier just cannot get away from that mass.
And here we see what Beasty's plan is. He's no longer producing Mangadai. He's just going to contest water until he potentially wins it. He does have 2 docks to 1, so in theory he should. You never know. It could be an issue with investment or micro on the water in this case. But the raid picked off another hill.
Yeah, one more villager going down here, and there's not enough archers quite yet. We do still have fights here going on water. Demo ships on both sides have been sniped out, but it looks like the archer ship from Wam got picked off by the Springled ship there. Double demolition ship now.
Oh, is that a fishing boat?
Attempt. Oh, but at the same time, demo ship as well.
That's a fishing boat.
No, that's demo ships on both sides. 2 demo ships. Oh yeah, the other one was a fishing ship there. And he only gets a single fishing ship for it in return. Wham, yeah, that's not the best trade here for him. Looks like he was able to pick up a couple more Mangadai though. So that does certainly help.
Yeah, this is...
The Deerstone is just scouting where the pilgrims are walking to.
And that pilgrim is going to go down.
Yeah, unfortunate. Some gold here now being lost for Wam.
Wam now up to 11 archers though, 5 Chevalier. Like,
BC's aging up behind this, so he can, like you see the macro right now, he is firmly set on just going for the age up. He's secured the pond now. That is all he really needs food-wise. So his main focus right now should be on just trying to go for the age up. And yeah, just take it from there with the stronger Castle Age units. Maybe get some Keshiks in. Just a lot more options there in the Castle Age, though. Mangadai, I want to say, they don't really scale that great with the age up. More walls coming in as well, further constricting the access that the Mangadai would have. Another outpost coming in here.
No one's garrisoned in that first one, so the Chevalier can just jump in, and Vills go down. Trade for trade here. Looks like another one did go down on the wood line of Wam now, so we are 5 for 4 in the Vill returns, but Keshik on the way for Beasty, even delaying that age up a bit just to have something to contest this.
Yeah. Now, we do have to take note, Beasty, a lot of his military force is actually just locked up on the waterfront side, right? Like, you get the 2 Springled ships there, the archer ship. So it's not really a lot of military that's really usable at the moment for him. I mean, Wam, he's actually got a very solid lead here when it comes to the military force. And looking at the overall ponds here, okay, Beasty managed to get another dock up on the other pond. That is super important because his next 2 golds are right next to that pond. So if he gets at least like some ship action going on over there, he's got some means of protecting that area.
Yeah, now we just have a little bit of a dance here from Wam. He's looking for damage. He knows he has a stronger army, but is there a way to get through these defenses? There are ships guarding the coastline. 3 outposts now on that gold, and the TC, of course, going to protect the wood line, but what will protect this Uvu? The army for Beasty is just not large enough, and he still does not have the gold to age up. Something we saw with Wam last game, and ooh, big
Single Mangadai here, being able to deny the pond for the time being.
The Uvu's almost out, to be fair, so maybe it's not even the worst.
Yeah, the issue is though that Beasty's next stone is very far forward.
Yeah. I guess you're just playing without stone, which means no Springled towers once you get Castle Age. And yeah. I think he didn't get arrow slits on those outposts because you want the Springleds against the Knights.
Got it on some, I believe.
Oh, he got it actually on all of them. Okay.
Yeah. So Wam right now, he is, you know, just suffering from the mobility that Beasty is using here with the Keshiks, with the Mangadai. He's just dancing around, and with the triple outpost, it's very
gold, though, gotta get dove. Beasty sees it coming, retreats some Vills. Is there enough room at the end? Every Vill Oh, two of them could have hopped in, but chose not to. Several vills going down now. Wham, up to 9 vills taken out. Yeah, not enough torch damage here, right?
Yeah, you're able to snipe a couple, but just not enough chivalry here in order to really stay around here for too long.
Wham has been trickling so many spearmen across the middle of the map, and the Mengedai have just been feasting on this rally point. This has been... That's like the 4th spearman in a row that has died in that way.
I've been having a field day here with that. Do we have any siege engineering here? Because I do believe that you're going to need... Ooh, he's not taking the fight there. Because I do believe that you're going to need rams in order to get past those triple outposts there. But yeah, at the moment, there's still just more and more dancing going on around there, around the woodlines, but no siege engineering in yet. And now the age up just has completed here for Beasty. Oh, the wall actually hasn't been finished yet. It's been half complete the entire time.
Wow.
Beasty had just a single unit there, just being able to deny that for so long.
Oh, and another villager gets taken out by this single Mengedai denying this dock. So much is going... And another villager going down on the fish.
Beasty equaling out the killed villager economy here very, very quickly. And Wam, he's in a very rough spot now. We're seeing crossbows coming in.
This seems desperate. I don't think rams are the answer anymore. Beasty's up to Castle Age. Crossbow for the Chevalier. Keshik for everything else. It's going to be a really hard uphill battle at this point. The villagers, they go for the garrison once again. There basically just isn't enough torch damage in this army composition to ever take out 4 fully garrisoned outposts. And so, once again, Wham retreats, a little bit of idle time being the one thing he picks up there. But is that really enough?
I mean, at the very least, the rams are a lot cheaper for the Knights Templar. So you're able to get like 2 in. 2 rams take down outposts pretty quickly. And we do still have a very solid army value lead here. More and more spearmen coming in as well. The spearmen are going to do great, not just against the Keshiks, but also decent as a meat shield up against the crossbows here. That is going to have to be like the main force here, I want to say, for Wham. But it's still so difficult. Like, Beasty's done an excellent job here of just running circles around the base here with his military units. There are more and more reinforcements coming in. They're also protecting or patrolling with that pilgrim there. And then, every now and then, we just see that Falcon being used around the woodlines. And yeah, once again, Falcon not being used here, but he circles in and out around the woodlines, makes it very, very difficult for Wham to get a reliable wood income here on these woodlines.
Is now going to see this coming. He didn't have any vision of these rams, and now he's just going to retreat this gold. I think maybe just move the Steppard out, right? He's going to garrison and hope for the best here, but
that's not enough.
The army behind this is massive for Wham. Is it going to be enough to take out the forces here of Beasty? Beasty, his army numbers are looking pretty low. Only 11 Keshiks on the field, only 5 crossbows. Is this going to be enough? The outposts dealing their damage. The rams struggling to path to the outpost. The villagers going for the repairs. The fight for Beasty is actually starting to look really good. The front line for Wham has collapsed. A lot of idle time, but the flank from the raiding force has come from behind. The archers forced to retreat. The Keshiks with nothing to stop them. The rams not even taking out a single outpost yet against the repairs. The villagers, this push from Wham, could it be fizzling out?
But more and more villagers are going down here behind this. Still, all of the crossbows getting sniped out there. So there were so many spearmen just not present in that fight here. They're all busy attacking the silver tree. Not the silver tree, the deer stones.
Oh, his attack move might have gotten caught there in the middle of that fight. Wham now forced to retreat. Still 35 archers, but Castle Age still miles away for him. Meanwhile, Beasty still able to get his macro going. His army composition is stalling out for the time being, but this first wave of gold drop-offs is immediately going to have to go into reinforcements from him, because if Wham comes from another attack, Beasty doesn't have the mass right now to defend.
Yeah, it's just more and more, like right now Wham, he could invest more and more into units. Looks though like he is now trying to go for the age up on his own side. We're getting the economic upgrade on water as well. Beasty sending out a small group of units now towards the pond side of Wham. Is going to be able to find that dock there. Not sure if you can do anything immediately against that though. Could try and burn it down, but there's a second dock at the bottom side, so these fishing ships aren't going to get idled out anytime soon. Oh, the wall isn't complete yet though.
Yeah, now Wham forced to send his troops to reinforce. That means this Deer Stones is going to get even more time to just kind of chill out. Genoa on the way for Wham, but Only a few pilgrims have really been making it. Several have been going down, so maybe the biggest pickup here is going to be that Genoese crossbow. It's quite the power unit. It's able to dish out that damage from that back line. Could be what he needs to support this archer mass to actually deal with some of these units from Beasty.
I think Templar Brother has to be the main choice here at the moment for Wam. He's got a lot of gold in the bank as well. He's already got a decent amount of archers. Now, the archers are going to be great at dealing with the crossbows from Beasty, so all he really needs is that one tanky front line that also provides a lot of damage, and that's just where I want to say, like, Templar Brothers fit the bill entirely.
Yeah, and Beasty, we saw against Louis, his main idea was, in Imperial Age, Knights Templar just don't have the tempo, potentially, to deal with Cognate. And we're looking at his macro. We could be seeing a sneaky age up if Wam backs off or takes his foot off the gas for too long. This could be a problem. Right now, he is content just to wait in his base and deal with his deer stones, but I think behind this, we could be seeing a quick age up if Beasty feels like he can deal with the forces here of Wam right now.
He's added in a lot more fishing ships as well in the pond, so right now the economy from Beasty, it's looking very solid there on water as well. Just looking at the income overall, there's a pretty strong gap here, as he's also now getting the economy upgrade on water. And I do believe you're right, Winston, this does appear to be the fast age up follow-up here now into Imperial Age. The Cognate Palace just being an absolute powerhouse when it comes to producing these very expensive elite units very, very quickly. Little raid here coming in on the sideline, just forcing the units here from Wam. We are seeing some Templar Brothers coming in, a lot of veterancy upgrades coming as well. And he does still have a good army mass behind this. Fight being taken here. Veterancy coming in on the Spearman now as well, as a good chunk of just very weak Chevalier in there as well. BC also just doing a great job of picking up relics behind all of this as well. Already two making their way towards his own base.
Oh, Beasty's going to see this force of archers still now moving and turning back. Wam, very intelligent, choosing not to just stay and stick around. He knows he needs to go forward. Some of those vills did run around the wrong side of the wood line, but is that going to be in time? Beasty, not with a big army in his own base to defend this push. He is trying to stockpile the resources to age up. This could be a big problem for him if this army is able to get on top of that gold.
We're getting archer ships here, though, in order to defend, and that is going to be an issue for Wam, as he doesn't really have the means at the moment, I want to say, to harass that gold vein there. Those double gold veins that are protected by the ships on the shoreline, and now BC is getting so close to being able to hit that age up button now anytime soon. There we go, now has enough resources. Cognate Palace going up.
Yeah, and immediately this could be a signal to Wam to just dive, go all in. The forces for BC, are they even enough to defend this, Crackety?
That's going to be the question here at the moment, right? Like Wam, he's adding in more and more Templar Brothers behind us. We're seeing Rams coming in now at the front side. Archers firing off onto the Keshiks. We do have all the blacksmith upgrades in on both sides here. There aren't any villagers inside the outpost, so they're not doing as much damage here. Meaning Wam can stay here and take the outpost down, and as soon as the age up finishes, that's his go time. That's his go signal then, to just charge in underneath the TC and take down everything that he can.
The Cognate Palace, though, about to come up. One of the big questions about Cognate, though, is what do you get first? A Hui here would be really bad, but the Gold Wheels are completely undefended. Beasty's army going to have to come and flank in from the side. The archer ships, are they going to be enough? Beasty tried to go for the drop-off, instead goes get for the repair. The Knights Templar, though, or the Brother Templar, oh! Conversion to deny. And the Vills could just go back to gold. Wam doesn't have enough. The forces for Beasty are going to be here to defend, but every time he pushes that side, he just keeps poking him back on the gold. Beasty, once again, out of position. The villagers on the gold going to have to retreat.
Yeah, it's just a lot of idle time now at the moment for Beasty, and Beasty, his food income is not looking that strong right now, actually, at least not strong enough in order to really get all the upgrades in that he needs. We're seeing a bombard emplacement being researched right now. A lot of sprinkled emplacements are being used here right now as well, but Wam, for him right now, it is all go, go, go now. He is doing as much as he can. Archers, micros there. He's trying to focus down all the range units from Beasty here. Right-hand side front line isn't looking that tanky, though. More crossbows getting sniped out right now by the archers.
It's not going to be enough. BC is going to be able to hold, but at what cost? A wave of palace guards comes in. That's going to be very useful against these archers, at least because they are elite against the veterancy here, and the defenses are in. The TC holds. The Cognate Palace will continue to churn. The villagers at the steppered out, still back now, mining to that gold. They're running across the map to a different gold mine, it seems. Oh, it's a new wood line.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Gold just expired, but the second gold is very close nearby and also protected by that shoreline, by that triple archer ship there. And Wam, yeah, he's stuck right now. He's stuck in the Castle Age. His opponent now getting access to these elite units. We're seeing hand cannons being massed into. We're getting these elite horse archers. We're getting some warrior monks in there now as well. Some palace guards, 3 relics, tight bonds being researched. I feel like at the moment, like, there is just very little that Wam can do with his military force against Beasty, even though Beasty has a lot of his military force, of course, locked up in on the water. And here we go, little raid coming in there.
Gold for Wam. He's got nothing to defend. These Keshiks are going to feast. If Wam doesn't notice quickly, he does retreat. He has the gate to keep them safe, but this is Wam's only access to gold, I believe, at the moment.
Yeah, no more gold access for him right now. I still have 1 over there, but that's
gold
about
left.
to...
Basically, he's out.
Yeah, he's basically out now.
The Steppered out, once again, idled out. The archer ship's there, and all the defenses now. Hand cannons on the field. Beasty with 2 of everything. That is his approach. That is what the Cognate gives you. Tons of different units. The forces for Wam, though, they are only Castle Age. Several of these units now for Beasty are upgraded, but that Templar Brother frontline is just going to push through. He's looking for the damage. The Man-at-Arms switch from Beasty. Not too sure about that. I guess it's to use the food and gold he has efficiently and create a front line against this. So, hand-at-arm hand cannon at the stage. Crackety, what do you think about that?
I think right now he just needs to get units out on the field, right? And it's probably the most effective army composition for him here at the moment, just having mass to survive, like a lot of HP to be there, because he can always fight around those outposts, around the waterline. That's where his DPS, reliable DPS, can come from. So behind this, he just needs military mass, military like meat shield mass there, in order to make it difficult for his opponent to get deeper. But there we go, a little wall off, not going to be in time. And now Beasty is inside the base from Wam. Villagers need to be evacuated here on the deer. None going down yet, but this is just so much of a distraction here at the moment. Wam 30 to 60 in the military department.
Yeah, the production for Wam is low as now he looks to get his own age up, but this is just where this timing for Wam, it's just not coming together. His gold income is a bit stringent. Doesn't really have all the resources he needs to age up. The food from the fish is starting to get a little bit less efficient as the fishing boats have had to move out to those farther deep fish in these 4 lake ponds. Oh boy. Beasty, on the back of all that, was able to get 3 of the relics. Wam, though, able to secure 2 even with the later castle timing. And here we have that first Hui. Not sure that's the most relevant just yet. Is Beasty in a position to get a push going?
He might be very soon. I want to say that right now, Wam, he's channeling his inner Mister. We're seeing a lot of just this Knights-only army composition coming in at the moment. And, you know, when you're going for, like, mass Templar Brothers, there is one age-up choice that just makes that so much better. And I do believe that we should be getting the Kingdom of Poland in here soon.
Yeah, Poland would make sense. That also gives him access to the Szlachta, which, to Beasty's own words, is still a very potent power unit. And Venice being the choice.
What?
Copying Louis, who did not find success with this against the Cognate Mongols because the Kondo did not do enough against this army. And it's the same army composition. The one discrepancy being the Man-at-Arms maybe that he is making now in this force. That is it's a very interesting choice. Maybe trying to get some of the 5 Venetian traders going, I suppose.
I would love to get the analyzers' opinion on that later on. Republic of Venice here, when you already have 27 Templar Brothers out and about on the field, I don't know, it just kind of feels like a waste to me, especially when you also have access to the Szlachta, which is just such an immensely powerful cavalry unit there as well. And he's got the resources at the moment as well, I want to say, to just immediately get the upgrade on the Templar Brothers and get a couple of Szlachta cavalry in there as well.
We're about to hit a really critical moment. Beasty is eyeing up 200 population against Wam's 120. Like, Beasty is producing quite a lot, and I think this is going to hit that critical mass of units where if Beasty just takes a full-on fight, I'm a little worried for Wam. Like, the Templar Brother frontline, if they don't hold, it just kind of falls apart. And Condottiero is the unit of choice again. So this is what Louis tried. Beasty in the post-interview said, I haven't seen that unit in a while. I even forgot what it does. It's an interesting frontline unit.
Yeah, it does take reduced damage from gunpowder units, which, you know, Beasty does have a good chunk of them in there with the hand cannoneers, but at the same time, with Serpentine Powder, Knights also, like cavalry in general, also just takes less damage from gunpowder units, so it kind of like makes up for that. I think just plain Knights at the moment, with Beasty only just now investing into Spearmen, could have been the better call. Of course, we see everything. The players, they don't know that in particular right now. And it's not the cavalry is just insane. It has so much base health. It's absolutely brutal. Fortress now coming up on the right side, protecting another gold vein. and also being able to get a couple more pilgrims out there for Wam.
It's going to be a big moment. The elite Templar brother
Another
is
fortress.
in. 2 fortresses on the front side. Wam ready to move out with these elite upgrades. He was able to hold against the raids.
We got double Hugh Pals there and a nest of bees now as well.
This could be problematic for that fortress. It probably will go up with this many villas building it, but will it stay up is one of the questions.
Fighting around the wood line, it's so difficult. Well, not a wood line, but fighting around the gold vein there, it's so difficult for melee units. Melee brain just cannot really compute when there are resources in the way. Fortress will finish up. Villagers should be jumping inside there. There we go. And the fight is being taken.
Templar brothers charging in, trying to take out this front line of Beasty. Is it going to be enough, though? Doesn't quite look like it. The hand cannons are reigning supreme. Retreating is Wam. The fortress taking its damage. There isn't that much left in the tank for Wam. Down to 28 units to 190 units of Beasty. 2 Wee Pals cannoning down that fortress. What can he do?
There is no way. The esport handshake is coming in. GG gets called. Beasty now leading 2-0 in this best of 7.
Incredible game there. There were some moments where I really thought Wam had solid opportunities there. This game looked like at times he had it under control. He had pushes going in his favor. He had gold denial being an option for him. It just didn't seem to pan out. You can see head and hands there. He's kind of wondering what to do. Like, what did he do wrong? Maybe thinking about that. As a competitor, can he brood on that too much? He needs to think about the next game, right?
That's the thing always in these games when you're behind a couple of points. Sure, it starts weighing in on the nerves there. And Beasty, he's been like just putting on an amazing performance. Wam though as well. I want to say like in just all the previous sets we had here so far from him, he looked very, very solid. We can take a look at the statistics here right now from that last game. We can maybe see, okay, where were the chances here from Wam? We do see in that mid game, in that leading up to Castle Age, he had a very big army value lead. The issue is Beasty, he realized, okay, I'm going to be under a lot of pressure on my gold veins. He put up an additional couple of outposts there and was eventually able to hold that.
Looking at this next game that will be coming up shortly, we have Lancaster versus the Malians on Coastal Cliffs here. Tell me, what are you really thinking when you see this?
I'm thinking, oh boy, that's a lot of passive income here that we're going to be getting.
Yeah, interesting. We'll see how that comes to play when these players do jump into the game. It looks like we're just moments away. Wam, his left hand is still holding up his head. It had been that way for a while. Oh, that looks a little frustrated.
Now is the point in time where you just have to reset your thoughts, focus on the next game, and just try and play as good as you possibly can. We're getting some very quick finger action in there right now. So looks like we should be jumping into our next game very shortly. There we go. Next game is coming up right now. We got a split camera action here right now, looking at both players' POVs right now as they are hammering those buttons and just making sure to play as cleanly as possible. Looks like we are actually getting a Dark Age barracks in from Wam01 at the moment, so will want to put on pressure immediately on Beasty here. Wants to get some damage in on that pit mine as quickly as possible. Time to switch into our beautiful caster mode here, so the UI fits, and there we go. We do have the pit mine very far forward from Beasty, so that is going to be the goal for Wam to hit. But Beasty, look at that, immediately spots out the Dark Age barracks.
Yeah, and we should see probably an adaptation into that outpost pretty quickly instead of your first houses, maybe even canceling a house if you can get it a little faster. Yeah, it looks like we're going to be saving up that wood. And how many villas do you send to build this outpost?
I want to say 3. 3 should be the main number that you want to be looking at. 3 is also a good number just to like have on the sheep underneath there as well. And there we go. Outpost is getting put up. Should be seeing a mill follow up there soon as well. And Wam, he's going to be spotting the outpost. Is he going to cancel his spearman?
Maybe he should. Yeah, this one's already out. Well, we got 2 out, sorry, already.
It's only 1 villager building it at the moment, but it's fairly close to TC. It's I want to say probably in range, but there we go. This is the correct decision right now from Wam. If your opponent puts an outpost there, you got to get a counter outpost there. So at the very least, Beasty won't be able to put additional houses around that pit mine.
Oh, it's basically in range, yeah. So that's Vil can just kind of cleanly finish.
I think Beasty might want to really quickly finish like getting a couple more houses out around the pit mine, because as soon as the outpost from Wam comes up, he will no longer have the option of doing so.
Yeah, interesting situation though. Like, if you're in the Malian position, how do you generally feel when you're under this kind of pressure?
I'm not as 100% sure how you feel. It's mostly like, okay, I can't get as much value as I want to out of this.
He's moving all of his sheep. He probably shouldn't be moving the sheep. He sees the outpost.
Oh, is he getting the hit in? Oh, just barely doesn't get that last hit in.
But also he has to move the sheep out of here, right?
Yeah, he's just splitting them up. He's got enough sheep here on the side, so he should be fine in that regard. But yeah, he's not getting as many houses in as he wants to. Still tries to finish up a couple more over here. The more houses you can get in right now while you have that protection from the outpost, the better it is for you. Because later on, as I mentioned, you're not going to be able to get them up. But I think some of these houses, they're just... It's so difficult to judge the radius from the outpost, right? Like, this shouldn't be in range. Yeah, okay, they're not in range. Okay, so 2 of these houses actually cannot be built here until the emplacement gets finished by Beasty. And now the outpost is up from Wam. Means that Beasty, he cannot gather from this gold vein. This is one of the cool plays when you're up against the Malians, is when you know that your opponent can't actively get the gold, it makes it much more feasible to go into mass archers because you know your opponent's going to have trouble massing javelin throwers as they cost gold.
Yeah, and behind this as well, Beasty's macro seems a little bit difficult. He's on kind of an interesting situation, right? Wam, behind this, has really macroed nicely. He's going to get up to that 400 food very cleanly and have a good timing. But Beasty with, 100 extra wood float, 300 gold now, going to be a little bit later to that feudal timing. And that could be relevant. Probably not the most relevant thing here, but you can see maybe Beasty's reaction there a bit odd. Same timing in the end. He's able to get a big drop off of sheep.
Now, something that we didn't talk about yet, right? Like, this is Coastal Cliffs that we're on at the moment. Big caveat here on Coastal Cliffs is that it's very difficult for you to get to stone, because stone is very far away from your main base. And Wam's playing as the House of Lancaster. He needs stone in order to get his manners up. He does actually have a very nice stone, I want to say, like in the back of his base there, behind that wood line, that he can even relatively easily wall off and safely gather the stone from. And there we go, villagers now getting pulled over towards that stone line.
Yeah, 4 going to stone should mean we're going to go for all 3 manors in that starting section. And interesting, we've seen some adaptation from players to stop at 3 manors. And we've seen, even yesterday, we saw Editan not build any manors. Questionable decisions, potentially, as he wasn't able to secure the victory in that game. But it did afford some opportunities. It's a big investment, and it will buy Beasty some time of his own to invest in his own income sources.
Manors are one of those things where it's a building that has an insanely short ROI. The return on investment on a manor is roughly 3 minutes. So being able to get your costs back in less than 3 minutes on a building, that's pretty strong. If you consider for a TC, for example, a TC roughly takes like 6 to 7 minutes in order to really pay off with the villagers, and you're also very vulnerable in that time. That's just not something that the Lancasters suffer from, as they do have that Lancaster castle protecting them as well. We do see the archer range now coming in from Beasty, so will want to get some archers in on his side in order to at the very least be able to access his second pit mine, as he does have a gold at the top side that he will want to get to.
Yeah, needs to force out these couple of spearmen which are still on the field. They were able to burn down those 2 front houses. I think those houses probably paid for themselves in the time that they were up. But Beasty gonna try and find something here. See that first manor coming in.
I would be interested to see if maybe Wam could go for some hobblers here. He did spot out the archer range, and we do actually see the stable coming in for him.
Yeah, interesting idea. Hobbler to deal with the range also gives him a way to really punish that far stone. Potentially, if BC ever does try and go there. I doubt we'll see that.
No, we do see it right now. He's sending a villager out. Oh, this is a... Oh, man. Unfortunately for him, though, there's the berry bushes right now blocking parts of the gold vein there. So he's not going to be able to get the full value out of that gold vein, at least not from the pit mine. First Hobbler in queue. Does Beasty already have a... I'm not sure if you're really thinking about Hobblers being an answer from your opponent.
Oh, the villagers! They weren't... Oh. Beasty didn't realize that he had arrow slits.
Yeah, loses 2 villagers there, actually.
2 villagers on that sheep. That's annoying because the sheep is always going to be there. So if he's not paying attention, next, when he runs out of sheep at his TC, more vills could run there.
Yeah. BC does spot out the villagers here at the moment on the stone vein, and interestingly enough, he didn't actually opt for barracks on his side, instead opting for a stable. So we'll be able to opt into warrior scouts as well, meaning that that one scout there will eventually start hitting those villagers from Wam. Wam, though, is going to have just about enough stone in the bank. He didn't invest into some emplacements, but he's going to have just about enough stone in the bank in order to get a couple more manors in. And there we go. Warrior Scout right now just being an annoyance here. It looks like he might actually get that villager killed down. Wam pulls the villagers from the wood line, but the scout does still manage to pick off that villager.
And it looks like it's going to get away and maybe heal up a little bit in that southern corner. The gold has been built up now from Beasty, not even building a pit mine on top at this time.
We do have the Hobbler right now coming in without any blacksmith upgrades. These actually do still take very little damage from the archers, as they do start with 3 pierce armor. The same pierce armor that a knight would, so able to trade out 1 for 1 here at least at the moment. Considering that there are so many archers out already, that is a pretty good trade here for him. Still more idle time being caused on the villagers, but we're already up on double manors, and as I mentioned, less than 3 minutes, triple manor coming in as well, and we're actually getting the manor upgrade as well, so going all the way up to 6 manors here in the Feudal Age for Wam. Right now, his passive income is looking a lot better, as Beasty has, I want to say, like, 2 pit mines that equate to like 1.5 pit mines worth of gold income at the moment, with how few houses he's been able to fit around it. And only 2 cattle in the ranch as well, so at the moment, Wam, he's got the lead when it comes to the passive income.
Yeah, things are kind of looking up for him here. He's got a decent villager. He got a villager lead off of all this, and you know, decent military on the field. The Hobbler, interestingly enough, the matchup against the Sofa is not that great for the Hobbler. They really don't do well. They have low HP, so they're really anti-range specialists, more so than the standard horsemen. So these Sofas, plus the little bit of extra chip damage from the Warrior Scouts, going to be an interesting way to deal with that front line. However, Wam with 6 spears, however, several of them are garrisoned in that outpost, which means they might not even really make it to the fight unless Wam remembers to ungarrison them, which he should, but not sure at this point if there is even going to be a fight. Looks like Wam, with that tech in for the manors, is going to be mainly focusing on just macroing up his manors while surviving. He dealt a lot of damage, right?
We are getting the mining upgrade right now in for Beasty, which does make me think that he will want to stick this out in Feudal Age a little bit longer. He is now investing heavily into the cattle ranches as well, and behind that getting in a couple more sofas, and that's where the acid distillation, I think it is in the Feudal Age, is coming in very, very handily. He will be getting a lot more gold from that now. It's still 15%. The food upgrade has been nerfed. No, specialized pick. The food upgrade has been nerfed. It's only 10%, but Double Broadaxe and Specialized Pick still being 15% upgrade means it's just a much stronger economy upgrade to get. Wam out on the deer. He did lose another villager on that stone vein. BC managed to pick that one off there. But we are about to be getting that 6 manor in rather soon. And I think behind that, Wam is then going to be looking for a Castle Age, as he is now on the deer. That's going to be very explosive food income for him.
Yeah, and the cattle boom, though, now getting up to 15 cattle soon. I don't know, cattle versus manors, generally what's your take on this? What do you feel like is the stronger, like, early castle timing? Because I think that's where we're heading here for Wam, and I think BC won't be too far behind with his income source right now, but maybe.
I think cattle boom overall is a good bit stronger, right? Like, you're getting up to like more than 1,000 food per minute pretty much immediately. It's a very focused up economy that you're getting there. We do see Beasty now going for the outpost kill there. He's pulling all of his military units at the moment. Some archers getting focused down by the outpost, is able to snipe off one of the archers. One is very low HP there. Spearman now jumping out. That's the moment where Beasty is going to pull the cavalry back. Could, almost gets another sofa kill in there. Not quite able to do so. Spearman now getting taken down.
If Beasty knew that Wam was aging up right now and he ran just forward at that deer, he might have been able to do quite a lot of damage. And Wam with the beautiful counterattack here, able to get 3 Hobblars into a prime position, forcing Beasty back once again with his forces. This is going to secure a lot of time for this white tower to go up, which would have been super vulnerable if Beasty had just ignored the tower for the time being, but instead opted to secure his own base, which means Wam is going to get a lot of what he wants out of this early game, I think.
Oh, look at that beautiful distraction play there by Wam. Just a single one of the Hobblears gets pulled, and the Age-Up is going to be coming in time now. Age-Up just finishing, and Beasty will not be able to get any value there, any meaningful value there out on the deer. We do have the men-at-arms now, and they don't take any damage from these archers at this point in time, as neither player has opted into any blacksmith upgrades. Beasty now going to try to look for some damage, but there's not really any damage to be gained on the sides. Instead, his own Age-Up should be coming in very, very shortly. Though Wam still actively causing a little bit of idle time here and there. And now the emergency wall is coming in as well.
Yeah, some walls going up. Could be nice to just slow down these Hobbler raids, but Hobbler, I mean, they have torches, right? They don't really mind if he's going to have more of them, but we're seeing this transition into Knights from House of Lancaster here. A good option against the Sofa initially here, especially as they're not up to Castle Age just yet, but Fulani Corral has been placed by Beasty. This is going to really explode his food income.
It is. Now, we do still have very good food income from Wam as well, with all of those manors working as well. He's still got some deer that he can work on. And he is pumping a lot of these knights right now. Looks like Beasty isn't even thinking about any spearmen at the moment. He's just going for his own sofas and archers. Now, the archers from Alliance, of course, super, super strong, as you do have that poison arrows. But there's going to be a certain timing for Wam, namely when he gets his levies in from the Lancaster Castle. Gives you a very big focus point where suddenly you have a very strong army, or rather a lot of units that you can push into. Question is, can he really push a lot, or rather, can he push deep into BC space? It's kind of difficult just diving TCs for a prolonged time.
Yeah, it's interesting, for sure. Army composition, I mean, you were just talking about it. I'm curious, Wam now just getting some of his eco upgrades, catching up a little bit there. BC now catching up a bit on military. Wam, notably, no blacksmith yet. I think that's a bit of a mistake. We saw that in some of his earlier sets that put him into this lower position, being a critical mistake where he forgot some blacksmith upgrades. Could this be a repeat? I mean, pretty important. He has the resources.
Yeah, it's one of the issues, right? Like when you're up against archers, you really need those blacksmith upgrades, as archers, they do a lot more damage suddenly from Feudal to Castle Age. They increase their damage by 50% of what they're able to do against armored units. So armored units in Feudal Age, an archer is able to do a maximum of 2 damage up against them per shot. In Castle Age, this goes up to 3. That's a 50% increase, and for every single blacksmith upgrade that you're missing, that just becomes even more and more. And archers is always a unit that you want to have in mass, and that's just where a lot of value comes from. Now, Wam is doing a good job of securing the relics. First relic is coming in. That was one in the very middle center of the map that he's just picked up. He's got a lot of knights, so he's able to take fights up against the sofas as well. He's building a good army mass right now behind us, and this food income is still looking very solid as well. If he gets a lot of the relics in, then he's going to be able to keep up in the gold income as well. This is looking up and up for Wam at the moment, I want to say.
If he's able to get away with playing down so many upgrades, we're going to get imported armor. Well, I guess not so many. Beasty kind of idled that out a little bit, starting to get them now. Imported armor is coming in. The Sofa looking to find some damage, not really going to find it. I'm almost wondering if Wam is thinking about skipping on a blacksmith altogether, stopping upgrades, just making enough units to survive, and looking to get maybe a Wingard out. Like 1,000 food banked up.
That is a lot. Looks like Beasty might be able to take the relic in the middle now. Not sure if Wam is noticing that. The Sofas are going to try and screen for that.
Be a Wololo attempt here.
He's going to need to be.
Just going to run.
It's not going to... Oh! Goes for it. Oh, no.
Wam! He's full committing. This could be several...
Oh, just in time.
Perfectly timed by Wam. And now the counter charge is there. The monk will go down. The Sofa forced to retreat. That is a lot of knights. Wam has now built that blacksmith, getting those upgrades behind this. The knights going to be solid in this front line. Wam able to scoop up that relic on the back side of this.
Yeah, and still no pierce armor in for Wam at the moment, while we do have +2 pierce damage for Beasty. He's not kiting effectively right now.
And he's waiting for poison archers because he just clicked it, right? So he's trying to get at the villagers on the gold, forced to retreat. Wam able to get a big charge in on the vills. Big retreat. The woodline, though, left to die. Several vills now. Wam up to maybe 10 vill kills, 9 right now. The fight being taken on the front line. Poison archers not in, but like you said, the +2 is in, so that front line has to retreat, has to find some safety. We're starting to finally get iron under mesh for Wam on the backside.
Yeah, so good choice there from Wam to retreat at least in some point in time here. We're seeing crossbows now being added in by him, more and more knights coming in as well. He's at a good moment in time right now where he's very even in the military count. He's ahead in the army value. Now's probably the point in time where you might also want to start thinking about going for your levy. Either that, or you should send villagers out to stone again, go for the 9 manors, just in order to get the maximum value out of those levies. Because you need a lot of army mass here if you want to go up to Imperial Age behind it. And I think prepping those levies is definitely going to be worthwhile.
Yeah, Beasty trying to find a little bit of a counterattack on that north side of Wham's base, but the Knight's just going to take a fight against the sofa. Beasty with a bit of over-micro maybe here, trying to get all of his units fighting, unable to do so. The Knights with a couple of Hobblar going to be taken down here, actually.
It's just so many sofas, right?
Yeah, it's a lot of sofas.
Staying a lot of time here.
But I don't think...
a lot of very weak knights. I think he's got 3 monks right now as well. He could really start healing those up. Some great return shots, though, from the crossbows. So he's able to get some value in there, while Beasty was on the retreat.
And Relic getting the... Wam getting the 4th Relic here is pretty huge.
Beasty realized that he lost a lot of villagers. He's actually adding in a 2nd TC now as well.
Yeah, an interesting adaptation. Mullins can build that without going to the stone. So if you have the wood and gold income, you can just sort of find opportunities to build it when you have the float. But I'm concerned here for Beasty in the sense that he doesn't have army lead, he doesn't have eco lead. Well, actually, Wam stopped producing for a bit here.
Yeah, he hasn't produced in a long while. We're getting Synchronized shot in as well without the levying actually being queued up yet.
He's preparing for that. Maybe
must be preparing for it, but he's got the resources, right? Like he should. There we go. Shire levy now being queued up, so he is going to be getting a lot of units in here very soon. But looks like Beasty wants to go for some raids now. Go for an army fight, army trade out. Some villagers, a lot of villagers walling off the side here very quickly. Realize, okay, if I don't wall this off right now, I'm in big trouble. He doesn't want to be in big trouble. Pierce armor level 2 now in as well. Is going to be taking way less damage from the archers.
There's a poison arrows though, so if the archers get a big hit in, it could be a big moment. Oh, the villagers though, that wall already down. Only a few villagers remain on this north side. A sacrifice Wam is willing to make it seems.
Yeah, they weren't on his screen at that point in time. He wasn't thinking about them. They will go down. Wam managed to gather up a little bit more stone now behind us as well. Single sofa trying to go for some more raids there. On the side, we'll find the villagers on stone very shortly, I think.
Only 14 yeomen, right? With Synchronized shot. It's not the most devastating ability with only 14. It does deal some damage. She does... Do you think Beasty's going to be surprised, or do you think when he sees yeomen, he'll know that that's on the table?
You can't really be surprised to see yeomen, I think, up against...
Well, with Synchronized shot, right? Usually, it's not always.
Immediately, that's definitely going to be impacting.
This could be a moment here where the archers are leading, and they're going to be in the shot.
Oh, he just got like 5 archer kills there with a single Synchronized shot ability. Huge value in.
Yeah, Beasty was not aware of that potential, and now he's going to have to retreat. He just doesn't have the numbers in this case. He's all gas here. Wam, though, with 1,400 gold in the bank. Not enough food, only 500 food per minute. Maybe trying to do a farm transition on the back side of this. He's all manors.
Yeah. And now Donzos have to be completely sacrificed here, else Beasty would have lost his entire army. He's got a ton of food income behind this, though. It's the, we mentioned it, like the very focused passive income that you get from the Grand Filani Corral. It's a lot of passive food income, roughly 1,000 food per minute here that he's getting at this point in time. Wam able to go back to the berries. No farm transition from him yet at this point in time. Looks like he might be trying to go for another attack move out forward. As Beasty is trying to take control of the middle of the map here with some houses, with some pit mines, just get more economy out on the map.
Yeah, I mean, able to get that 3rd pit mine can be difficult on this map, right? Because it's such a tight space. Sofa raid, trying to find a few vills here and there.
We'll find some, yeah. Knights coming in as well, though.
Yeah, able to clean up that raid pretty easily. Fight in the middle? Just the outposts going down.
Losing a lot of the sofas here does hurt Beasty a good bit. He is trying to remass them very heavily.
He's up to 38 archers, but still now 28 yeomen. And we saw the Synchronized shot previously have devastating impact. Now with 30, it's almost going to one-shot everything if it's an archer in the circle.
Yeah, I think we're starting to see the move up into Imperial Age now. We're getting the 9th Manor upgrade in now as well behind this. So Wam, very shortly, he will be getting his 9th Manor in, and behind us just looking for the Imperial Age play now, as we do see a lot of food and gold in the bank for him.
Yeah, and he has opportunity there for, you know, the Elite Demi-Lancer call as well from the castle, Lancaster, right? So definitely lots of opportunities.
Yeah. The one main issue here that I have with this is even if he goes for the Wingard Palace, right? The Wingard Palace for House of Lancaster is interesting because it doesn't provide you anything against mass archers.
Right.
That's like the one thing where you can't get a single unit out from the Wingard Palace as House of Lancaster. You can get Demi-Lancers and some Hobbleasts out of it. The issue with that is that without the King's College, you don't want Demi-Lancers.
Yeah, they're lacking that bonus against heavy. It just doesn't feel as good here, right? So he didn't take that path, and maybe the Wingard isn't innately the best choice. I don't know if Berkshire would really be better in this case, but...
It's a tough call to make. Berkshire has some nice qualities, of course, with the bonus damage that you're getting on your Earl's Guard. It's kind of weird, I want to say, the special interaction there that you get with the Berkshire being also like another keep that increases the damage on your Demi-Lancers, but you can't make Demi-Lancers if you go for the Berkshire, so it's a bonus that just doesn't feel impactful or worthwhile ever.
Yeah, we're seeing Garrison Command. Oh no, that's just the Wingard Army, right?
That should be a Spearman, yeah, that's a Spearman and Earl's Guard.
The Garrison Command. Yeah, that's interesting then, because... Again, like you said, there's 65 archers on the field, and you're against Malians. I don't know if Earl's Guard are really going to be, you know, your strongest unit this game, right? I mean, Malians are going to have a lot of answers to that later. If we ever see Musafati, I don't think so. I guess not with 33 yeomen on the field. But we'll see. Beasty soon going to have the resources to age up as well. Although a lot of his economy is quite forward, maybe just taking the moment to mine the middle of the map. But his army is split. He's been trying to kind of tickle this left side while defend the right side at the same time, and it feels like if Wam just made a choice, could actually have taken really good fights here. If he had just grouped up, ignored the north, and just hit that center point, maybe things would have been good. A big synchronized shot did come through there, took out several of the archers, but I mean... What's left is still healthy, and Wam is forced to defend this weird central position. Yeah. Meanwhile, just sort of while he had this big military advantage with the early imp, just sort of letting Beasty take the middle of the map, it seems, when I wouldn't think the archers have that much potency over Wam's army.
Yeah, the archers are really strong. Like, you cannot underestimate them. Now, Fort of the Huntress is coming in for Beasty, and at a great spot as well, giving him access to 2 gold veins, to all of the gold veins, pretty much in the center of the map. And behind this Beasty, he's got solid, very solid income. He's far ahead of Wam. Wam has just gotten Scuttage in, or Scuttage. I'm not 100% sure on the pronunciation there. So is now getting a little bit of additional gold trickle as well. He's got 3 relics in. Wait. He lost a relic. Wam had a 4th relic that, like, he didn't have a monastery for it, so it was just a monk inside of his base, but how did that get stolen? Beasty able to steal the 4th relic there away from Wam.
Yeah, that's a spicy little moment, and now Wam, I feel like, is going to feel like the walls just closed in a lot. I think maybe he took this slightly too passively once he had Shire Levy Call. I'm not quite sure, but now it seems like Beasty, his second TC, has had a lot of time to pay off. His villager count is simply higher. His passive income sources are simply a bit better, especially when his pit mines are no longer contested. It seemed like that really aggressive opening put Wam in a really solid position, and maybe now he's going to find himself against an opponent who might even be arguably a little ahead.
Yeah, we don't have incendiaries yet. We don't have +3 pierce damage yet. Beasty is about to research +3 pierce armor, and that's when the longbows, or rather the yeomen, which have an upgrade to elite, they just don't pack as much of a punch as they should, though they still have the synchronized shot, and there is a ton of ranged units here at the moment out and about from Beasty.
Order the Huntress, though, going to be...
It's not something that you want to fight. Never
it's not where you want to walk.
It doesn't shoot normal arrows. It actually shoots poison arrows, so it does a lot of damage even up against the armored units here.
And even offers your units a bit better. Gives you a little bit of that stealth action too, so it makes it really hard to engage under, especially with such a prominent position. Gonna need siege, and the farm transition being attacked here with just that single sofa, so annoying.
Oh, he does notice. He shoots with the villagers. Notices, okay, no, that's not a warrior scout. That's a sofa.
Beasty now up to 80 archers on the field against a garrison command spam from the wing guard. This is 54 spearmen against 80 archers, and I think any Age 4 player can tell you how this fight might go if Wam doesn't figure out another solution. Now he's trying to make this switch into Hobbler, but without the college, like,
it doesn't work. It just
it's not as potent.
It just doesn't do the bonus damage, right? Like, you don't have the charge ability, you don't get them out as quickly. It just doesn't feel as good. And now he's getting raided once again inside of space. I do believe he has got some spearmen in there to defend, but it's not going to be enough spearmen, as Beasty is going to be able to pick them off and after that just run past them.
This is a huge raid, but this is all of BC's front line, so it's going to be just up the archers to kite, but they do have that poison arrow, and like we said, there is only spearmen on the field, 54 down to 24 in the blink of an eye. Beasty now in on the north side. The raids on those exposed farms. The army from Wam finally chose to move out to the middle, but it is too late. Beasty's Malians is on the board. Bombard in play as well. The White Tower will soon be attacked. Even for Rima leadership coming in to give those archers a bit of move speed when the Sofa are around, that will make them even better at kiting than they currently are.
Yeah, a couple of villagers in Outpost is getting torched down right now, so that's going to be even more economy getting lost here. Both players have a lot of passive income as well, so you can really take the villager count at much more face value than you would in typically with the Malians and House of Lancaster. So Wam definitely economically far, far, far behind now. We're getting more economic upgrades in behind us. He's got a good gold bank in at the moment. Scuttage also helping him a lot now. I'm not sure if he's got tithe bonds behind this, but really, if you're looking at the army composition right now from House of Lancaster, we're getting to the point where their only realistic option is just mass yeomen, and maybe even Earl's Guard as a front line. Other than that, there's not really any sensible choice there. See, some spearmen as well, of course. You are going to need some just up against the sofas that are coming out time and time again, and Beasty is being so persistent with these sofa raids. It's really constricting Wam here with moving out onto the map. He needs some stone walls.
Beasty, he's just going to keep looping these units in, force the units to the back. He's okay sacrificing these sofa because what he's preparing behind this is going to be 4 bombards. This will demolish that front base, and the White Tower is just right in front of all the manors. He built them forward thinking he had map control at the time, but now he does not. The White Tower is starting to get sieged, I believe, in the center by these bombards. The manors behind. The Culverin call has been brought in. Are they going to be enough? They're slightly outranging the bombards. If Beasty isn't paying attention, he could lose some units, but he has some vills nearby for the repairs. The White Tower going down. The Demi-Lancers and Hobblars preparing a charge. The Yeoman in position. Crackety. The archers, are they going to be enough?
That is the question, right? There is no choke point, so the synchronized shot cannot unfold in its full power here. Culverins, there's 2, now 4 of them. They are needed at the front side. White Tower still up here. It has not been taken down. Bombard's moving forward yet again. One of the bombard has been taken down. And there we go, finally some stone walls coming up. Another keep also to protect that sacred side there, the top side. Culverin's starting to take down some of the pit mines here. Very, very important. You do want to constrict your opponent when it comes to that passive gold income. He is ahead in theory when it comes to all the passive gold, thanks to the Manors with the Imperial Age upgrade. But pit mines, of course, they do generate a lot.
Yeah, Beasty maneuvered his units around to the side here, away from that Culverin force. The Demi-Lancers and Earl's Guard, the Demi-Lancers and Hobblars trying to get their attack off, but that is just simply too many archers. The Sofa mass being rebuilt in the front, actually even making a switch into Elite Warrior Scout. Interesting.
Yeah, Mass Warrior Scout, maybe just to try and snipe the siege. At this point in time, the Warrior Scouts also, like past Castle Age, they do start getting bonus damage up against range units. And they're very effective meat shield. BC has a ton of food, so maybe that's the reasoning behind it. We do have the Culverins. They got to pull back just a little bit. So many archers, they could get sniped out. Now the Culverins moving on to the bombards. White Tower, can it stay up?
He has no front line here, and he still doesn't have front line. Maybe being a bit too stubborn on these raids because you need that front line to hold this fight. The Yeoman could come into range at any point and leave a devastating attack. He's moving forward. Here come the Warrior Scouts and a couple Sofa to defend on that left side, but the Hobblar and the Demi Lancers. Is it going to be enough, or are the poison arrows going to deal the damage they need to do for Beasty? The Culverins now, 5 of them in position, hammering down the fortress. The villagers getting pulled to deal with the Culverins. Beasty feeling confident enough to potentially even lose 20 vills if he runs into the wrong section of that army. The
front line is gone.
Front line is gone?
Front line anymore.
Culverins are going to be exposed soon. Just a few yeomen left.
Oh, a keep now. Follow up from Wam here. If he can buy himself enough map presence now at the front line with the keep, that could be great for him. More frontline units coming in, but still there's just so many archers out on the field here at the moment. It is very tough. Only 27 yeomen up against 74 archers.
Production.
He's still full on producing. Sofas behind it all.
And the production has just been so good for him, and now still, he had so many units raiding, and he still has units in Wam's base behind this. The Culverins now forced to retreat. The keep, no shot, it goes up. It's going to get placed. It's going to get instantly canceled.
He's
the
committing.
Synchronized shot completely whiffs. The Culverins are taking their hits. Now Spearmen desperately being sent into the line of archers. It's simply not going to be enough for Wam in the front at this time. The Sacred Site counter ticking down. BC, full map control, still
and
there. Wam frustrated with that loss, head in hand again. You can see the dejected look. I feel so sorry for him in there. Beasty, just calm there under all of that.
Yeah, Beasty, he's got to be feeling really confident now. He's 3-0 ahead at the moment here in the semifinals, and that is not something that you want to be on the opposition of, right? Like, you've made it so far. You've defeated so many opponents here. You've gotten so many great sets, and even up against, like, top players here. Wham! I mean, let's not forget, like, he's beaten, like, Vortex, for example, to get here to this point in time, and that is just, like, now being up 3 points behind Beasty here in the set. It is very, very tough on you. And yeah, I mean, we mentioned it, right? Like, this is the point in time, okay, you get up a little bit, you stretch your legs, you think about your draft, you think about your next steps. What can you really do in this next one? How can you get back into this? Raw emotions here right now. Just how can you get back? This has to be a clean sweep reversal if Wam wants to win the set.
Yeah, and even thinking about the draft there, right? That was Lancaster, right? That's... You know, people are kind of looking at Lancaster as one that should be able to win, but
people have been saying the same about Roos.
Yeah, people said the same about Roos. Maybe that's not the case, but it certainly was high in that draft order for a reason, right? It was. I think that was his second pick.
Yeah.
You can maybe take a look at the draft in a minute. Oh, well, we're looking at this
too. Byzantines and then Roos, yeah. So Wam still has some very strong...
Okay, yeah.
Wam still has some very strong civilizations available to him.
Yes.
But by no means were all of these throwaway civs. Like KT, 100% not a throwaway civ. House of Lancaster, 100% not a throwaway civ. And yeah, it's just very rough. And once again, like, really shows the king of passive income. It is still the Malians.
Maybe a bit of a surprise here. How do you feel about a Ubids on Mountain Clearing?
I don't see the synergy, really, I gotta say. Like, Iubids, they're one of the, like, main... Actually, the typical playstyle that we've seen from Iubids, I want to say, like, 3 months ago, was that static siege push with the Manganiques. And on a map like Mountain Clearing, you're very much forced into an interaction with your opponent. You can't just like expand into the back. You can't expand to the side. You're very much on your own side. So a Manganique push with the fire projectiles can be very potent up against you. That's how it is, but I do believe that the game should be up right now. So we are going to be jumping in right away. This is it. Match point. We're already here. Game number 5 now. Beasty, he is... Game number 4. He is on match point, and he is going for the Dark Age board play. We do have a little bit of a scout action going on here as well, as the players want to maybe at least get a little bit of value out. The boar is trying to kill some villagers here, and...
Oh.
There is some very low HP villagers here remaining.
But you can't afford to lose the scout at this stage. Not with all your sheep. All your sheep. He could just bonk them. 1, 2, 3 are going to... Oh, he canceled. He's trying to go for that vill. He's trying to be greedy. Another vill coming forward. Another sheep could be lost here.
How much HP is left on that one? 2. It's going down. 1
HP. It's going down. BC has sacrificed it, but another sheep gets taken out, as is the cost to that play for Wam, which... definitely okay with, but Beasty on the back of this does have the boar. Is this part of the calculation in this map? Is that you can have such a messy opening and be down a vill, but it's worth it? Certainly not, right?
This is such a difficult spot now at the moment, actually, for both players. Like, being down a villager at this point in time, that's absolutely brutal, because that is like 10% of your entire economy gone. Just losing a single villager, depending on how early it is, the percentage, of course, damage to the economy, it just gets bigger and bigger. So losing a villager this early on, it kind of completely negates the bonus that you get from the boar.
Yeah, but I'm wondering if it's still worth it. Nah, probably just not.
It's still worth it in the meaning of course, you don't have to deplete your sheep very early on. You're getting more resources as a whole before you have to do a transition here. So in that regard, definitely still worth it for Beasty to go for, but just losing that villager means that he at the very least isn't like pulling ahead in the, or at least not pulling ahead to a massive amount in the income department here.
Yeah, interesting. Wam not getting a ton of sheep himself. It's not a horrible look for him, as of course he's a berry civ, and he also has reasons to secure his sheep behind his for a lot longer. Wow, Beasty got a lot of the sheep.
Yeah, he must be feeling very happy here. Now, something to keep in mind on this map is Pro Scout, 100% not worth it. You'd only have like these small deer packs, but what you do have is you do have additional berry bushes on the map, on the left side, on the right-hand side. So berry civilizations, if they have map control, they can make a lot more out of that than other civilizations here.
Map control in this game always feels, on this map always feels so finicky though. It feels so temporal and like.
Yeah.
Right? It's like the moment your army's out of position, do you even have map control? Right? Like your opponent's just right there.
At the same time, if you have an outpost there, it gives you so much vision. Like you see the entire map. You got like an outpost on the left side, you get an outpost on the right hand side, you see the entire map, and it just means that you're always going to be wary of what your opponent does, where they're out to, if they want to move out at all of their base, of course.
But it takes one night, you know, one mounted samurai on that berry patch, and you lose them all, right? If you're just not paying attention, if you're not able to see it. So we'll see. It looks like Wam Scout did trade a little bit too much HP, and he's going for the hits. Oh, that could have been close if he took one more.
Yeah, we're not getting a Dervish Wing here yet from Wam. Instead, it's going to be Economic Wing Growth coming in for him. So we'll be getting 3 additional villagers here.
Core Storehouse, though, the kind of obvious choice behind this. It's going to set up that farm transition really well, and it's something where Japan really wants to get into the floating gate in this Castle Age. It's something that we see on this map a lot. The players just want to get going in Castle Age as quickly as they can.
Some deer being sniped here at the front side, but still close to the mill from Wam. Could also just put up another mill. This is not like any meaningful damage there to the food income, I want to say, on either side. Beasty, yeah, the age up is coming in. House, he was only building it with 2, now pulls an additional 2 villagers. Means that Wam is actually going to be able to get the age up in first here ahead of time. Economic growth, just 15 more seconds for that. And we talked about, right, like early on, the economy, losing a villager, gaining more villagers, it's just so much more important, meaning that these 3 villagers that Wam is getting, that's like an immediate 15 to 20% more efficiency on his economy.
Yep, Feudal Age coming in though. You know, it's interesting. What I haven't seen the Uvids on this map too often.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of even wondering what your play is in Feudal Age. Is he just going to try an FC into Camel Lancer?
Yeah, I want to say, like, I think Feudal Age is not the play at all to begin with. It has to be like maybe you get like a Desert Raider or 2 out just to be annoying out on the map. Force your opponent to move away from the boar, right?
You think it's Dervishes just to grab the relics as the age up, or do you think fast advance or
I think
unit production?
Reinforcement Wing would probably be the most sensible. The thing is, you're probably not going to be getting the relics on the side of your opponent. Like, the relics are inside the range of the TC. So Dervish Wing, just for that, not worth it. Definitely not worth it.
I mean, that one... Dervish could maybe grab that, but is it worth the landmark? I see your point there, because you're not really going to necessarily deny it.
Yeah,
reinforcement here makes sense.
Yeah, it makes more sense as well, because with the reinforcement wing, you're making your camel, you give your camels the ability to make siege.
And that could be relevant, really quickly.
Because if your opponent, what's your opponent going to do if you're making camels, right? Like, they're going to be making mounted samurai, which get kind of counted out by the camels. Yeah. And if they want to then follow up with, like, infantry, you can make springles against that.
Yeah, the boar has been finished now by Beasty, so he's retreating now to his safer food.
Finished, he had to move away because
is it not finished?
Gonna be, there's probably only like 500 or maybe 400 resources left on the boar. Just about finished.
Small walls coming up. This should help deter any of those early Desert Raider raids, but Camel Lancers can still sneak through there without taking too much damage from the TC, so Beasty shouldn't feel too safe from this early castle time, because castles are coming.
It feels like an AoE2 arena spawn right now, the way Beasty walled inside of his base. Just looking at the minimap, these...
Oh!
Gets a villager kill in.
That was the low HP one.
Yeah, the low HP one from the boar, so that's another villager kill here for Wam.
Pushes him off the deer even.
6 villagers ahead right now.
Yeah, I mean,
5.
growth
Yeah.
growth does that. Growth gives you quite the lead, but on top of that, it looks like maybe a little bit of idle time, plus the 2 villas going down. It adds up, you know?
Yeah.
And
There it is, reinforcement wing coming in now for him, so he's immediately going to have military out on the field.
Beasty's still not even able to age up. You know, a lot of idle time, maybe being down a vill. Things are just much slower. If he had that vill, he might even have enough food to age up at this point, right?
You know, it would be crazy if he actually takes the relic away from Beasty in front of his base, but, I mean, you're getting an immediate Shinto priest in. You're getting an immediate Shinto priest in with the age up. If he takes that relic in the backside, oh man, it's a tough one. It is really tough. I could imagine Beasty being the kind of player to send the Shinto priest towards the front immediately to get the relic next to the sacred site. And if he does that, then the Shinto priest could get sniped, and Wam might be able to get the relic next to Beasty's base. A couple of the farms getting idled out here by a single Desert Raider.
I mean, Beasty's still not started his age up.
Yeah, just not enough food, and we're getting to the point where Ayubits not being able to rush their age up at all, get the age up in first. Now Outpost now also coming in next to the sacred site, floating gate now coming up, 7 villagers working on that. So it's not getting rushed up really, like a rush up I would say is 10 villagers. 8 is like a normal age up time that you're going for.
Yeah, I think this takes, what, like 40 seconds or 30, something 35.
Yeah.
It's not the fastest, but not the slowest. First outpost already coming up from Wam, so he's going to want to control that center. I could really see Wam's play be here, just try and control the center, go for a huge mass of Camel Lancers supported by Siege.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be the play here. Manjanique, Springald, and some
just taking
outposts
down the infrastructure. Yeah.
So essentially a Knight Siege composition, but with a spicy Camel Knight.
Definitely, all cards here on the menu. A lot of options here for Wam to go into. He doesn't have enough wood immediately to go for a mosque. He's going to have to wait a little bit for that to come in. But triple stable means that he can, at the very least, like get a lot of these Camel Lances in very quickly. There we go, triple Camel Lance queued up immediately. Age up now coming in from Beasty as well. And Wam, he's got to be feeling very happy just with being able to get the age up in ahead of the... Oh my god, he didn't have a stable yet! He's rushing that one up with so many villagers.
Maybe he just didn't have enough wood income at the time, but yeah, that's a bit interesting because now he's got to get these...
And he's housed.
These Mounted Samurai out on the field quickly.
He's housed.
Does he have wood income?
He's rushing up the house now next to the gold vein.
Things just aren't looking great for BC's build here. A little bit sloppy on the back end. Down 6 vills. Maybe being down that 1 vill has really thrown off the timings a little bit.
I don't want to say sloppy. I think it's more like mistakes that Wam forced here very early on, right? Like I
mean, losing a vill. Yeah, well,
losing 2 vills.
Wam killing a vill.
Yeah, Wam killing 2 villagers there, and also that farming house there in the middle. That's it's not a mill, or rather it is a mill, but it's also a house, right? So he lost the 10 population space there. That actually caused him to get housed there. Meaning that right now, momentum-wise, Beasty, he has none. There is no momentum for him. Now the Dervish, first Dervish is in queue. Beasty at least did the correct play with going for the relic on the right-hand side first with the Shinto Priest. So he won't get a relic stolen away from him, because that would truly be a catastrophe if he lets a relic get taken away from him. Now, I want to see, like, does he just take the relic or does he immediately capture up the sacred sites? I want him to take the capture up the sacred site immediately.
Yeah, maybe, or is this just him walking back?
No, he's capturing it. That's
really smart. It's really good because it starts the timer, and the timer is very relevant on this map.
And he's getting enough stone from placements there as well. Yeah, BC's in a tough spot. Like, you can't even go on a Musha up against the Desert Raiders as well. So you don't really have a crossbow alternative here to make at all. You can think about going into Spearman, but that's what we talked about, right? Like, the ability to make Springlets on the field is an immediate deterrence to that as well. We're getting a rat? No, come on, Wam. You got Manjaniques. Oh, but there's the Yorishiro stable right there.
Yeah, just forcing that out. And Beasty really did place that in a bold location, and defending that's going to be very, very difficult. He also doesn't have any units to defend this with, really.
Is that a follow-up stable that he's making? No, he's making the archer range outside of his face. I think he's still feeling pressured enough to go into Onimusha. The issue is just he's not going to find a lot of value with them. At least not up against the Desert Raiders, which are already veteraned up. And Wam is getting a ton of them in passively every now and then.
Yeah, this Ram is a really smart play here because I mean, I don't think Beasty's going to be able to defend this. I mean, 7... maybe. There's a lot of Desert Raiders here, and they aren't all that effective.
Ooh, able to at the very least soak up the charge there with the Scout.
Oh, using the Shinto Priest to heal here. Beasty, this is going to be for all the marbles, pulling 7 villagers to repair this. The Mounted Samurai now just forced to take a full fight. The Shinto Priest not finding the heal targets. The
pathing's an issue, though. Some more villagers going down. First couple of Onimusha coming in as well, trying to snipe here. But more units coming in from Wam. The repair villagers are now getting pulled back. Still a choke point is a choke point. The Onimusha now in mass. We're getting 4 of them out yet. And Wam realized he cannot stay here any longer. But he's gotten so much more damage in, right? Like, even more villagers went down. Even more camel lenses now. Maybe he can still stay here.
Yeah, the Ram's going to keep hitting. The Yorshire stable is going to go down. This is a huge loss.
He's taking it down.
And this is all time on the clock here. Now, BC's going to have to find map control after this, if he's even able to hold. I'm not quite sure. The Ram forced is going to be looping around now, trying to find another target. Maybe there's a house, maybe there's something else that he could try to do. Blacksmith upgrades are starting to come in for Wam. Another game where he feels like he's a little bit behind on those. Already +2 ranged armor coming in for Beasty, but...
Double outposts with sprinkled emplacements out now at the front side, and... yeah, this is going to be a tough one to push into. Beasty, he just invested into double barracks. And this is the point in time where, as Wam, because the barracks in the front, get like 3 sprinkles in and then just manganiques and burn them down.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways, I feel like, for Wam to just close out this game. He's up 10 villagers. He has killed 6, 2 in the early game, 4 in that later altercation at the stable. And now... Wam just feels like he's in the driver's seat, right? He's got Siege on the field coming. He can easily add more. He's got healing up for all of his units from the Dervishes. Yeah, this is looking good for Wam. Now, he will need to find an answer to the Spearmen. I think he's got enough Desert Raiders to just do that in the Archer mode. But as a bow unit, they're much weaker against the Mounted Samurai.
They are, but BC doesn't have a stable anymore. He cannot make any Mounted Samurai, at least no additional Samurai. And I think the Desert Raiders in mass are still doing like a decent job. They just gotta make sure they don't die too quickly. They got a lot of armor, but they just don't have a lot of health on them. But among like having 5-6 melee armor and doing 20%, like having the camel on ease, that's a big difference. Wam with the Ram actually just spotting out the new army composition. There we go, immediate sprinkle queue.
Yeah. Springles are getting queued up to deal with these spearmen, and it's going to be really tough to fight into this because the Siege can just stick inside of these 2 outposts, and it's going to be really hard to take that fight, but you have to kill the Siege in order to decap that Sacred Site. And now we're just down to 6 minutes. Wam is 6 minutes away from starting the journey of the reverse sweep.
He is indeed. We're also getting outposts up on the berries there. That means that Wam, he doesn't need to move out on, or rather, he can move out on the map and actually gain worthwhile value from these berry bushes. Lots of food there to be had, and Beasty, with the outpost there, there's not really any reasonable targets for him to raid at the moment. He's just stuck inside of his base, trying to mess up an army. The question is, can this army ever really be strong enough to push in, as we do have the siege mass being prepped here at the front side?
Yeah, it's going to be really, really important. Notably, though, only 4 Camel Lancers. Wam, his macro, he's stockpiling a lot of resources. He's investing in these defenses. He's out on the berries like you said he could do.
So many...
Wow, such a good trade with these Desert Raiders against the Onimusha. Forced to retreat. They need their front line to be able to do this. But what can BC even make as a front line against this is an even good question. Wow, the Onimusha just getting absolutely smoked and sent packing.
And he's able to get out there as well after a great trade. Look at the destruction value. 1,200 ahead here.
The Spearman charge runs out, and the Desert Raiders are just going to run off into the sunset.
The Springles.
Springles in position. It's quite a few 6, and this first shot could be devastating. Beasty backs up just in time to avoid total disaster, but did he avoid it enough? He's going to be retreating. Going back into box is not the answer. The army from Wam is just so huge, and now Income Onimushas, I guess, are your best answer against the Springholds,
last
but you're
chance.
going to be committing them. And here's the fight. The Siege takes the shot. The Desert Raiders take the shot. And will it be enough? The Spearmen, are they just going down? It doesn't seem like Beasty has enough here.
He does not have enough, and there we go. The Springles now cleaning up the entire front side. Are we getting the esports handshake in now at this point in time? BC losing up his entire mass. 4 minutes remaining on the Sacred Side timer, and there it is. GG comes in. Wham! He's starting the journey for the reverse sweep now. 1 point on the scoreboard.
Yeah, but it's going to be a pretty big mountain to climb for Wam here, right? Having to get to 4 wins in a best of 7 is challenging. And on the draft, there's still some interesting questions for him. He's got to be feeling confident, though. He didn't just get swept. He has some strategies here that are working. Does he have more in this tank?
That's going to be the question here at the end of the day. He still has those good civilizations that we talked about, right? Like Ruse, he's got Byzantines. Now, we've seen Ruse not having the greatest of times in the current tournament, but like one of the big, I want to say, civilizations that Ruse tend to lose up against, that's Malians. And Malians no longer on the table, so that's at least something here for Wam. Looking at the stats here once again, like just that early lead, that early dip in the economy count just getting pulling ahead so much further for Wam. 5,000 additional resources gathered throughout the entire game. That's very significant.
Yeah, and we saw the damage from that. From those 2 Vil kills that Wam secured early game. He had good micro against the boar play, and then that early Desert Raider finding another Vil kill. We saw the ramifications of that when Beasty got Castle Age. He just wasn't ready for anything. He was housed. He had issues with the stable. The stable was hastily built in a poor position, which ended up being something that Wam exploited again, which all of these things added up into feeling massive.
We're actually seeing HRE versus the Byzantines here.
Yeah.
There are a lot of berries on the side, like on one side, and if you get map control there as the Byzantines, you're getting a ton of mercenaries out.
Yeah, that's interesting. HRE versus Biz on regions. This map has been interesting. It has been somewhere we've seen Biz, and Biz have been doing well. They're an aggressive civ, and they're being able to hold their own, especially once they get their setup going. We've seen multiple different strategies from Biz in this tournament so far.
Yeah, it's also always a question of the spawn, right? Like if you like HRE, they're one of those civilizations that do benefit from Dark Age aggression. They get the faster spearmen, they got the very strong economy working for them as well, so they're able to afford that early barracks, get some spearmen out across the map, and against a civilization like Byzantines, which may struggle with Dark Age aggression, that is really where you can put your opponent on the back foot very early on. But now, ladies and gentlemen, I believe it is time. It is still match point here in this set, but it is time for game number 5, and we are watching Beasty up against Wam, HRE versus Byzantines here on region.
Yeah, Wam, it's gonna be a battle here. He's gotta win every game. I think BC should be feeling confident at this stage, right? At least to secure the games. But Wam, you know, early on we saw he's looking a little frustrated, looking a little down. After this win, the confidence levels should be back. I'm looking forward to seeing him claw this. I always want a game number 7, right?
That is the ideal situation, and look at that. Wam, he is opening up with a play onto the berries very early on. This is a typical indicator for a hippodrome type play here, as he is going to be benefiting from the early berries. Means he's not depleting his sheep very early on, but also he is going to be rushing up his timing when it comes to the mercenaries. And look at that, he is very cognizant of the potential of a Dark Age aggression play here from Beasty, by just also making sure that the buildings that he's placing, or rather the way he places mill, it is not going to be outside the range of his TC.
Yeah, making sure he has that there is really intelligent. Now, the Spearman going to be looking for damage, looking for a way maybe to deny the stone, maybe deny the gold a little bit. BC has spotted that the gold is on the far side of that base, so the Spearman kind of on the wrong side, maybe going to try and find the stone, but it's going to be a minute before he gets to that gold, so it looks like Wam is going to be able to age up without too many issues.
Yeah, right now, I mean, he's also like going to the further berry bushes at the moment just to make sure he's getting as much olive oil as he needs, or rather as much as possible before those spearmen come to harass him.
Yeah, and it's interesting. It's interesting because, you know, HRE as a pro scout civ is able to do, you know, quite a lot here. But I'm not sure. The spear play and now a forward tower as well. A lot of times you do this to deny the winery, but if Wam wasn't even planning to do the winery, is it even that big of a deal? to lose the berries?
Yeah. This isn't as big as a deal for him, and he's got the tools to deal with this now. Spearmen are still really annoying here, and actually it looks like a lot of the berry bushes here are not in the range of the TC. We do have the accurate defense now being pulled, but this also means that he won't have it in time in order to defend up against the outpost. So he's not going to be able to deny the outpost. What he wants right now is just being able to gather up enough olive oil to get the first bunch of mercenaries out. Don't think he's going to be able to do so. Villagers are getting pulled now. Accurate defense, he is trying to chase after a villager from Beasty. That's not really achievable or reasonable though, as this early on, of course, he doesn't have wheelbarrow, so he can't definitely chase after them.
Yeah, it's interesting. So the outpost's going to be coming down. Hippodrome going up. That's a good outpost position. It's going to deny 2 resources. And like you said, Arcatoy on cooldown here. At least it should be over soon, right? That's going to be kind of challenging.
Yeah, I wonder if Wam is going to try and intercept the outpost before it gets finished. I don't think that's reasonably...
Does he see it? Oh, surely he does.
He does. He did see it. So he knows that the outpost is coming up here. A lot of very low health villagers now.
Yeah, it'd be tricky. You'd have to swap out which vills you bring, right? Like, I don't think you can risk bringing these low HP ones.
Ooh, villagers.
Oh!
They're pulling the shift. Some very low spearmen, very low HP spearmen. Weak HP villagers are getting...
And here comes the pull onto the Vill. They're seeing that the villager for Beasty is low. This tower would be critical to achieving his strategic goals, but maybe the idle time is enough for him. The Aachen Chapel going down behind this, but meanwhile the spearmen aren't quite able to get any villager kills. Wam, with consistent and clean micro here, has been able to push back this attack, and that will secure his berries, that will secure his gold, at least for the time being.
Yeah, now it is of course idle time here for these villagers, chasing after the spearman, chasing after the villager, so it is an annoyance, but obviously Beasty, he also had to invest into the spearman, had to invest into the outpost, lost some resources there on the outpost. He's now moving on to the stone. Is he going for a 2TC play? That is not something that we see often at all from the HRE. Okay.
2TC, is he skipping Prof Scouts altogether then?
It looks like it, right? He's got,
he's got 182 gold.
He's got the deer in the back that he can put the second TC on. That would be very beneficial for him. But I think Wam, is he about to scout it? No, the scout's turning around. So he's not scouting it immediately, but just knowing, okay, your opponent's going to be going on 2TC. HRE 2TC is very strong if you have enough uptime on your prelate production and if you actually actively make prelates to keep inspiring your villagers.
Yeah, and it looks like Wam's age up was delayed enough here from Beasty. Well, not delayed, but the follow-up to the feudal age is a bit weak and lacking a bit on the side for Wam here. Only 1 horseman in queue at the moment. Looks like he'll be able to queue up a second, but maybe he won't be able to because of Vill time. There's only 1 spearman left on the field to defend the TC placement. Beasty might need to make a few more spears if he wants the TC to go up wherever he wants, because that first horseman is going to be coming across the field. Another one should be in queue shortly. And Wam has now scouted the stone fully, so that he knows the plan here is 2TC.
Yeah.
2TC has been out of the meta in terms of just seeing it every game.
Wait,
right?
okay, for a second I was like, okay, Wam's also going for 2TC, then I forgot, wait, we're
He's just cisterns.
Yeah,
he's just going to build his cisterns.
Yeah.
Oh, was that a misclick? He didn't actually connect.
He didn't quite connect that up. I think he's going to notice it, though.
You think?
I hope.
You know.
I believe in Wam.
Yeah, so
he's going to notice this at the
see it eventually
when he builds another cistern. Yeah, when he builds the next cistern, he's going to notice it.
Yeah. So the idea here is that, of course, you want to connect the cisterns and get the number above them to 5, right?
Yeah.
But without the connection being full there, he notices it immediately. Okay. Well, you never know. In these tournament settings, things can get kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But kudos to Wam here for holding against that, taking a lot of vills low but not losing any, and also kind of mitigating, I think, the idle time rather effectively.
Yeah, and we now do see that second TC that has
horseman.
We do have a horseman here. There's no spearman anywhere, no military units, and we do, in worst case, actually have Triumph available here as well to heal up not just the horseman but also the scout, and also give bonus damage to the scout. We do now also see Prelate being
Prelate for the healing. He's not on the right target. Triumph gets called. A villager goes down already. Wam with an excellent opening here, able to get some damage into Prelate. Now able to heal up that villager as it gets taken out. Beasty just committing fully to the TC. Another villager going to be going down, so that will be that villager lead from the TC. It takes even longer for it to pay off and be effective. But wait, is there more? 2 horsemen here now. Triumph has ended. More villagers being pulled, so that's a lot of Vil time committed to this. The Prelate going to be the next target, but he will be able to hop into the TC. Or should he? Weird pathing. He gets bumped around, hops into the TC.
Inside. That was so crucial. Horsemen, why are they still standing there? Oh,
unable to retreat. The villagers with the shivs are getting so much value, and the horsemen just going down. That one should. Oh, barely lives with a sliver of health.
Yeah. But this is now no longer a functional horseman. This is a glorified scout at this point in time. Oh, Relic coming.
Another one.
He's taking so much damage here just on the pass through.
Yeah, I mean, and it's a Hippodrome play, right? You're really looking for like that mass to build up so you can just take a knockout fight at some point, right?
Longbows still have more range than secondary TCs though. So in theory, Wam, he is able to path around here with the longbows and deny the golden come now from Beasty. And I think Beasty, does he have any additional production building after the barracks so far? None. Was he thinking that he could just go fast Castle Age behind him? He still has so many villagers in gold right now. Is that still the plan? Okay, the longbows aren't actually going around the left-hand side.
Yeah, if they get around the right here, it could be a bit annoying.
Oh, you can.
Not going to find...
Can I load the...
Oh.
And the as well, potentially.
That's really annoying for Beasty here, especially because he has no military on the field to speak of. And now he's just going to charge right through here.
Oh, that's aggression straight away. Siphon coming in, more and more horsemen on the way. We're seeing the second longbow mercenary badge also in queue behind this double horseman, double stable, now being in queue for Beasty.
Hippodrome horsemen are so good against horsemen when Triumph gets activated.
Oh. Yeah, this is going to be incredibly tough. Beasty pulling every single villager off now from wood. Where's he sending them to? Did he make another production building?
He will have emergency repairs.
Blacksmithing, okay.
On that secondary TC to buy some time here, but with currently no military on the field. Oh, Wam might just even send the Kyber Siphon into the main. Why go for the second TC when your opponent has nothing? Just go for the lumber camps. Deny the resource income. Deny the house. Oh, wait. Was this a misclick of sorts? The villagers going to start torching.
It's so difficult when you're up against the Siphon, right?
You have to manage
fire damage always just is so much. Unpredictably, Triumph getting activated here yet again.
Oh, really short Triumph, though.
Yeah, it was a very short one. At least he got a couple more tickets now for the next one.
Yeah.
And that's going to be 2 buildings going down here for
He has no wood.
He doesn't. And he's getting housed now as well, without wood. Okay, he's got the TC on the other side. He can get wood there. But this is such a rough spot for him to be in.
The Kyber Siphon, though, completely out of position. Where is its support? It's going to go down. It did get a little bit of value here, but
not enough.
Going down like that is definitely not what Wam was expecting. And where his reinforcements, 5 more longbows have been produced. They're on the way, but only 6 horsemen on the field. He's going up to, what, his 5th cistern, I suppose?
That should be
He's got
5.
I mean, but look how far that is on the mini-map. He's creating a stake. He's trying to get the longest road. This isn't Catan.
I mean, he's also just getting a spot in between for the boar, so yeah, he's getting a
disconnect! Another disconnect!
Another disconnect there. Oh my god, no, Wam! This is meant to be it. This is meant to be your economy here.
Yeah, it's his whole investment. He'll catch it eventually, I'm confident.
Surely.
But for now, that is not our focus, as Beasty has to still find a way to defend. 10 longbows are here. Only 2 or 4 horsemen on the field. 2 more being produced. A couple spearmen now. But how much are they really going to do when there's longbows on the field? Beasty tried to find a counterattack. 1 Vil has gone down to that. Still only losing 3 Vils here. Beasty somehow able to keep his villager lead alive. He is up 9 villagers. Sorry, 8 villagers, soon to be 9, I'm sure, because he's on an additional town center.
Yeah.
This, Wam has an advantage militarily, but for how long before this starts to pay off for Beasty?
Honestly, I think Wam at the moment, he still has a very nice scaling point here with the mercenaries going for him. Looks like we did get the aqueduct fix behind this. We're on aqueduct level 3 at the moment. Actually, wait. No, that's still, we're level 3 here.
Something weird.
No, it's not connected. It's still not connected. That was the wrong spot. Wait. Wait, what? Wait, so it's connected there, so... Oh.
He didn't finish building it here.
Oh my god, there's a little... Oh my...
Wham! Wham might be playing Byzantines quite well, but he might just not be the architect of Rome. We will move on, though. Beasty, notably, he's had to do his farm transition. You mentioned early game, not going pro scouts so that he can, but maybe he'd build the TC on the deer. He did not do so. He built TC on gold, and now Wham diving under. Triumph gets activated. The villagers forced to retreat. The wall's not finished there, so the horsemen could chase. The longbowmen, though, are under the TC. Only 5 vills garrison. Triumph gets activated. It's still going. The TC now focusing the longbows. A spearman just gonna die immediately upon being trained. Beasty with 4 horsemen, but no apocalypse for Wham.
And Wham, now's the time. Another Siphon coming up for him. He can just start burning down everything here with only 6 villagers inside the sea. It's just not enough DPS coming out. He's burning every single farm that has been built by Beasty here in the meantime. Beasty actually snuck out a lot of villagers to the berries here. If Wham spots this eventually, that could be an absolute massacre.
If Beasty keeps still producing units,
does he notice?
Wham will immediately notice. Right, he'll have to catch on that there's food somewhere.
He's not, yeah. He just went in that direction for a second, so I was like, okay, wait, he saw it. He's got outposts here, but it's not quite in vision yet.
That is close. Oh! This could potentially spot? No? Okay, that was way further than I thought. Okay, way further than I thought. Okay. Okay, but here's another dive. BC just gets back onto his farms that he just freshly built again. Once again, 5 vills in here. The horsemen do not care, and we even see... Wow. Wow, this is crazy. The Siphon's getting so much value here. Emergency repairs on a house just to keep it alive because Beasty needs the wood. No units for Beasty. No units. 18 horsemen out for Wham. These attacks are paying off. Now, farms in the back of the base. We don't need a knock-in where we're going for Beasty.
Yeah, Beasty doing his best here to hold on at the moment. Another mercenary batch is coming in soon as well.
Siphon gets forgotten about. It might go down here.
Not quite forgotten. The longbows are doing their best here to protect that one. Looks like it's actually getting focused down in time, though. Will get taken down, but I mean, it's getting the value in right. Like, he lost 2 spearmen for it. He's losing... okay, he didn't lose 2 spearmen. Only 1 spearman. 1 spearman, 1 horseman. Yeah, it's still fine. He took it out of building here there.
Escalation for Wham.
Oh my god, the follow-up. It's just not something that Beasty can match right now at all.
It.
Even though he's like 10 villagers ahead. And yeah, he did finish it. And that is going to be a 5-cistern golden horn tower coming in now.
Yeah, this is... Wham is ready to produce.
I'm saying cataphracts.
I think it could be the play. He's got it. He has Triumph available.
You upgrade veterancy on your units, just pump out cataphracts from there now, nothing else.
BC has nothing. Like, BC has nothing. He's got a farm transition in the north slowly coming to play, but it's messy. It's messy. It's not clean. There's no way he hits Castle Age. He has to put everything into unit production here.
Yeah. Merchant's Repair once again saving a building there. Is going for the house now instead.
BC might just resign when Castle Age comes in, honestly.
He might.
I think he'll play this out. I mean, he's up 12 vills. He might be thinking he's up more, maybe? But he lost 8 to these raids and attacks.
It's a lot. It's a lot of damage taken so far. We're getting double mercenary production now coming in as the Golden Horn Tower starts immediately producing these longbowmen as well. And it's just so quick, right? Like, you're getting additionally like 12 villagers worth of production just from that Golden Horn Tower. It kind of evens out the playing field when it comes to villagers, but Cistern level 5 as well. Just so much scaling working at the moment here for Wham. So much more military out in the field as well. BC is just spamming out more and more of these horsemen. Wham's still ahead, and with Triumph always being there potentially for him, it is just very difficult. And
here comes Wham!
It's still on cooldown. Veterancy coming in on longbows as well.
Here he comes. Triumph could be activated at any moment. The longbows get into position. BC feels like he has to go forward for it because losing this TC would probably be the end of the game. Fighting horsemen against vet horsemen. Wham's just got everything he needs. Triumph gets activated. Longbows dealing so much damage.
And that has to be it. Emergency repair, yeah, healing up that TC, but the Horseman now diving past, following up. Beasty's got so much food income, actually, but now more villagers getting sniped here, more cataphracts in queue behind this. The first couple should be arriving here very soon. Behind this, though, Beasty's getting a huge raid in on the wood line from Wam, so did manage to pick off a couple more villagers over here behind that. Veterans here on the longbows means they're also going to be doing good damage up against the Horseman, but so many of them means that a lot of them will still go down. But this is a free unit, the Longbowman. You get it passively just from the olive oil. You don't really care too much about them going down.
And now the Kairos Siphon gonna get taken out potentially here, keeping the TC alive. The TC is actually dealing with all the Longbowmen. The Horseman Master Wam looking a little slim here. The transition into Cataphracts, though, going to be that critical follow-up that he is looking for, but that could leave him a little bit exposed to Spearman. Beasty, 4 in queue. Are Feudal Spearmen enough, though, to fight Cataphracts?
No, not at all. We've seen that time and time again where Cataphracts just swarm over any theoretical counter unit. Single Horseman is once again causing some damage here in the base of Wam. He's able to jump inside the outpost, though. The villagers from Beasty, I want to say, haven't really been discovered yet out there on the berries.
Beasty has no gold income. I guess he's just
gonna
all
find
in
it
feudal.
now.
Oh,
no.
He spots it. He spots it. Double emergency towers. It's not going to be enough. The Horsemen are here. Beasty's villager lead will be gone in the blink of an eye.
He's using Triumph as well.
Beasty hasn't even... I mean, what can Beasty do? You could see the head shake of defeat there in his eyes, because that was critical for Wam to find. Every single villager has gone down, and now the fight in the main is what matters, but Beasty looks like he's just going to have to tap out here on game number 5.
And Wam, he is getting closer and closer to evening out this series. Totally unexpected at this point in time, right? Like a clean 3-0 lead from Beasty, and now Wam getting 2 points in back-to-back.
That was the Byzantine pick. That was the first pick from Wam, and so that is the high-value pick getting its victory in that he needed.
Exactly. Next up, he's still got Ruse, but on the other hand side, Beasty also still has Deli, and we've seen Deli do great things up against Ruse, but I want to take note here because afterwards, we've talked a lot with the players, and they were like theory crafting, okay, how do I beat Deli with Ruse? What do I do against this? Because so far, the fast castle play just hasn't worked. So far, the answer from every single one player was like, okay, I gotta do feudal all in. I gotta do feudal all in with Ruse. That's the play here. Maybe that's gonna be something that we see should this matchup arise.
Let's see some of the stats of that most recent game here. We have them up, and you can see, wow, the military value just always in favor of Wam in that feudal age. You saw at times when Wam, he had that big fight at 10 minutes, but that's when he dove, and he got so much value from his units there. Triumph and only 5 units in the TC. I think if Beasty had left 10 vills to garrison, everybody retreated to the north, leaving, and I think that one mistake that Wam forced there could have maybe helped him because he lost his whole farm transition. Now I want to swing it over to Wam here. Just like, how do you think he's feeling now? You can kind of see that posture. He's kind of just like thinking a bit maybe, but what do you think is going on in his head? Because he just pulled 2 wins out. If he wins this next one, I mean, the match point advantage is gone, and it's anyone's game.
Honestly, at this point, you're like reviewing all of your experiences in this matchup before, right? Like just looking at it, you're looking at what you've seen so far in this tournament, and you've seen that Ruse, they kind of tend to fall apart when they go for the fast castle age, or if they go for like minimal units into fast castle age. So instead, maybe this is the moment where he's going to be like, okay, I got to really commit. I cannot let Deli get the sacred sites. I do have early knights very early on, so I do have a competitive army composition that I can fight with. And yeah, I mean, we see them right now just hammering away in those keyboards. So I guess we're not too far off from jumping into our next game. Look at, like it's like he's playing the piano, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We are into game number 6, Beasty's last chance with match point. We have the split screen up once again.
Yeah, it's very nice just getting both the player perspectives here very early on. Just gives you a little bit of a glimpse into the scouting pattern here that players are going for here. And yeah, I mean, both players just very early on, just very actively looking at the scouts. You want to never miss any sheep very early on because sometimes, like, sure, you get the vision on your scout, but are you actually looking at the scout? Are you actually looking at where the sheep are? Because they don't have infinite, like, range of taking the sheep in, of course.
Yeah, and one thing, when you go the second scout early with Bruce, it always leads, the general aim is that you end up with a sheep advantage. Obviously, the plan is you're going to use these scouts later for prop scouts, so it's just a very consistent thing that we've seen from Bruce players. The question is, do we actually have a sheep counter to see?
I mean, the sheep counter right now for Beasty, it's 3.
3.
And for Wam, it's already 8, at least on that single one scout that he sent out.
Oh, wow.
And he's already got the other scout ahead of Beasty's scout at the moment. So right now, like, this is looking very rough at the moment for Beasty. He hasn't found a lot of sheep. Now, thankfully, Delhi, they don't really mind. I don't think the sheep counter is accurate.
Beasty already do a drop-off, or is the color wrong? Yeah, I think...
Maybe
the match...
I think the color and the sheep count is wrong. Actually, it's not wrong because there's still a lot of like live sheep at the moment in BC space as well. As you just like you go out onto the berries. Yeah.
It's counting carcasses. Interesting. So whatever. I mean, I think we saw that Wam had quite a lot of sheep on the scout. Regardless, he's going to be happy. Both players might be happy here.
Yeah. All right, double scout opening here from Wam, and he's got a good amount of sheep in. That is very important. Of course, you are also getting the bounty in from the sheep, so you are getting a lot of passive gold income here as well. Wam now able to age up. It's going to be the golden gate, the most golden of gates here, as that is flavor of the year so far, I want to say, with Roos, the golden gate. There was a very long time where we had just Kremlin all around, right?
Yeah, the golden gate buff definitely brought it back into the fold here, and it being an economic option just makes it a lot safer. Whereas, you know, are you necessarily going to get as much value out of the gremlins? You don't always know, right? It depends on what your opponent's doing. Now, we talked about this at the start of, or I think it was 2 games ago in the analysis. We talked about how maybe the plan for Wam here on Roos is to just play all-out feudal.
Yeah.
Right? Do you think that's going to be the case here? And if so, what is really the benefit that Wam is looking for? What is it that Wam needs to go well?
So, of course, like one of the main things that you have going for yourselves as Roos up against the Delhi Sultanate is you got a very great professional scout timing here working for you as the Roos. And professional scouts is definitely something that you want to use when you're up against the Delhi, because if you don't go for pro scouts, Delhi eventually will. They will get that upgrade in for free at some point down the line. So better you get it than your opponent does, I want to say. Also, in Feudal Age, it's great fighting out in Feudal Age, because once you get up to Castle Age, there's a ton of free technologies that Delhi unlock. And depending on how long Feudal Age goes, they're going to have a significant scholar mass to get those upgrades in incredibly quickly. So ending a game in Feudal Age, in theory, should probably be the most ideal play here up against Delhi, because the longer the game goes, the more free stuff they unlock.
Yeah, and we've seen that in the later stages of the game. We had a game with Anatand against Louis where, you know, knights and crossbows just ain't it against Delhi's archer elephant mass, right? It's just the elephants are just too potent against some of Roos's options. But we'll see what the play is here for Beasty, what his opening unit of choice will be. Obviously, we have Prof Scouts being clicked by Wam. Should be Prof Scouts queued up eventually, maybe after Wheelbarrow here is usually the thing. And then you build a second mill, maybe to get horticulture.
I've seen it sometimes. I think Beasty was like one of the first players that went for the second mill. I think this time around, yeah, it's just going to be that first mill.
And so barracks, so not a Ghazi opening, so just opening up with the spears. This helps deny the scouts of the opponent. You have efficient production, so essentially 2 barracks right now for Beasty. He's going to just start spamming these spearmen across to the enemy's hunt, likely, right, to just try and slow down the Roos here as they start to gobble up the hunt on the
Timing as well behind this. There's still like 45 seconds left on Pro Scouts to finish up for Wam. So by that point in time, the Spearmen should probably arrive inside of the base here from Wam.
And we'll see. The Spearmen coming across. We do have Sanctity, you know, a third of the way through. This is a big moment. We've seen players, you know, getting Sanctity, but kind of ignoring the sacred sites in some games. And, you know, we were talking to a couple players like Vortex, for example, behind the scenes, and he was saying there's no way it's worth it to not have the sacred sites. It's really important that you contest the sacred sites as Delhi, because it's really how you secure an advantage. And it's just the armada of Roos scouts, and one lonely spear isn't quite going to be enough, but denying the first patch with the timings here is simply going to be impossible. It's really how much damage can you do to the second patch of Deer.
There we go.
Oh, and it's a lot less if you take that much damage from the TC.
Yeah, Archer's now coming out from Wam as well. Do believe that he already has a wooden fortress inside of his base, so we'll be getting a lot of bonus there as well, or is just getting it up now. We also have the barracks from him, so he's also going to be reinforcing with some spearmen of his own side. Archer will be able to take down the first spearman here now as well. And Beasty is now going to follow up with some Ghazi Raiders of his own.
Yeah, he's built that the stable with 2 vills, I think, which he really does want that up ASAP, and efficient production has now been moved to there, so no longer is the barracks empowered, but now it is stable. It's 1 scout forced to drop, a 2nd scout surely forced to drop here, but the archer is in position to deny. The scouts just need to kind of back up and wait for their moment. Oh,
Ooh, is he
you see
getting
with
this
the
one?
micro
Gets
takes
him.
down another scout.
Yeah, good pick off there, but there's still a deer there. Oh, is he getting another one? He gets another one. Great pickoffs there.
And here's the Ghazi in position now. 1 spearman critical from Wam to get that out just in time to defend this archer against the Ghazi.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of Ghazi Raiders on the map. This is what Delhi is so good at doing, is this initial flood at the start, propped up by the food from the berries. The archer's going to go down, and you know, the Ghazi, he doesn't mind trading some HP for this. He can go back to the sacred site and heal once the scholars start coming
Doing
out.
so now, yeah. I think Beasty right now is moving out to every single sacred site, or should be about to. He did send a... Yeah, there we go. The scholars are
Or
getting
Scholar
up
Boys.
now. Yeah, he's going to be able to pick up every single sacred site here in Wam. He just does not have enough units yet to split up. Maybe he's
stable.
able to deny 1 sacred site, but not all of them.
Double stable in the back. You know what that tells
Good.
me? Knights, and
Yeah.
a lot of them. Wam wants to make units. I think you're right about this. It might be a pretty heavy investment into this feudal age from him. 3 scholars for the heals, but is that enough against the spearmen? It should likely be. Wam agreeing and looking to
Are they
retreat.
hardened? Are the spearmen with the hardened upgrade? They look Dark Age. Yeah, they're
No.
still Dark Age spearmen. Oh, it's coming in now.
Beasty might get baited into a fight, then Wam could trick him with the timing. The Ghazi, though, might just look to take the engagement.
It is risky when you're up against the spearmen. Now with the hardened upgrade, though, this might be good enough now for them to take the fight.
Scholars with the
Of course,
healing,
always
though.
looking
The
to
sacred site getting denied. Beasty doesn't want to give it up, but maybe he should. 3 scholars on the retreat. The archers and the spears in hot pursuit. A single archer, a 2nd archer from Beasty hits the field, and just in time, the scholars able to stay alive. Now the spearmen forced to retreat from Wam.
First Knight now also coming in, though, on the other hand side, but the Ghazi Raiders are enough here to now start chasing after the spearmen on the retreat.
Interesting little skirmish here. Looks like Beasty's going to get the advantage here. Can we check the other sacred sites just really quick just to see what those little engagements are there? Beasty is just barely going to be able to capture that one. And the one in the south, both of those do come through. This is a pretty big deal. The first Knight on the field now in action. 2 knights in queue. This might catch Beasty off guard if he doesn't produce enough spearmen. Things could go wrong for him. Ghazi, do you have that bonus? Oh, dude, just let it. But Ghazi have that bonus against heavy, right?
Yeah.
And it does make them slightly better against the knights. It's something that does really help Civ get an edge over Roos in a lot of games, but damn.
Especially because you can't heal the Rus Knights up, right? Like, unlike the French Knights, they got chivalry. You do not have that privilege as the Rus here. And the Ghazi Raiders going for a good enough dive there onto the archer line. A couple of Ghazi are going down, though. They're still expensive units. You don't want to lose them.
Yeah, BC was trying so hard to keep them all alive with low HP and lost several there that I don't think he expected to. That turnaround charge was so effective, but now the army is here from Beasty. The Scholars taking that first charge. The Knights from Wam taking maybe an ill-advised fight. The Sacred Site still this main point of contention. The northern one has been decapped. The southern one has been decapped. So Wam able to get some good little tricks in. Oh, sorry, not that one, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Wam has been trying on the map as well.
And behind this Wam right now, I mean, he's got the edge at the moment when it comes to the income thanks to the deer. But Beasty behind this, Pro Scouts has finished up, and I do see a scout in queue for him. So this might be the point in time where he gets like 1 to 2 scouts out and just starts picking up all of his own deer.
Yeah, we've noticed he has a high spearman count, right? But Beasty is using those around the map, not in this main fight against the Knights. He's using them to help deny those scouts of Wam from taking his own deer. He's been using those on his 2 deer packs and on some of the sacred sites. That's why we don't see those 10 spearmen in this central fight. If they were, the Knights just simply wouldn't be able to engage.
Ooh, looks like that's going to be a dead scholar right there, getting picked off by a couple of Knights here. That's 1 spearman trying to protect him, not going to be enough.
In fact, the spearman's just going to get instantly killed there as well. Down he goes.
And Ram behind us, he is just making more and more of these Knights.
Wam is housed?
He is housed, yeah.
Surely he has another house on the way. Oh yeah, okay, he does. Oh, man.
He kept coming in on one of the sacred sides. Oh no, the star! Oh, losing 2 Knights there. Not moving far enough in.
The Knights must have maybe idled and turned around. A little distracting because there's simply so much going on in this game. The battle for the sacred sites continues, but the techs for Delhi finally starting to come in. Beasty has built that blacksmith, so he's going to start rolling them in. But look at this. Wam, is he intentionally saving up for Castle Age?
I think it's just so much food that you're getting from Pro Scouts. I don't think it's an intentional play.
2 more stables, let's go!
Yeah, I mean, he's got like
no, he's going to
right?
Castle, I think.
He's got
going to
3
Castle.
stables and 4 archer ranges. I'm not sure if he's going to Castle Age. Like, he's consistently still making more and more Knights here behind us now. Knight charge. Spearman now getting sniped out by the archers.
Yeah, this is a decent little fight for Wam. The Gazi are going to go down pretty quickly here and going to have to retreat on the side of Beasty. That was a good skirmish for Wam there. Beasty maybe overextending a bit, but it does maybe buy him some time to secure his map. We see a ping in Beasty's base. Is Wam trading with some Knights? Yeah.
A couple of Knights raiding now. Some awkward pathing here or there.
Oh, a lot of scholars just ejected from that mosque. Oh my.
Don't have Pierce Armor in yet for Wam, which is kind of critical because Beasty has now Pierce Damage 1 upgrade on his archers. So Knights at the moment, they're going to take a lot of damage from the big mass of archers that Beasty has, and we do see one of the Knights here going down to this big archer ball. Beasty's already got so many scholars at this point in time as well. This is the moment in time where if your opponent gets the Age up in as the Delhi, they're unlocking every single technology at lightning speed. Like, you cannot let this game go to Castle Age now.
Beasty is halfway to Castle in terms of resources banked, and he might be considering it an option. I think he's still going to want to make sure he can contest all these sacred sites, just barely keeping that third one, or second one.
Ball play now from
Going to the board without any defenses is a really bold play. We could see this become a problem. The units, though, from Wam potentially out of position. That is starting to build up a decent Knight mass. He's up to 13. No Castle Age in sight for Wam. Just 3 more in queue. Up to 14 and counting.
And he's taking the fight. The Spearmen, they're a little bit out of position. Knights charging forward now. The charge is going to connect at this distance. And Spearmen, they got to get focused out now by the archers. Knights taking the fight. This could be a cleanup.
This could be a huge cleanup for Wam. He's looking to turn the tides in this tournament series semifinals for the marbles, but so many Knights taking so much damage. The archers actually did quite good, like you mentioned, missing that ranged armor upgrade.
And he's aging up behind this. House of Learning coming in. Couple of scholars out on the map are going to get taken down. Beasty still has control over every single sacred side, so he will have a lot of gold as the age comes in and will be able to pump out a good amount of his own Knights then. And yeah, this is where it starts becoming very dangerous. You're up against a Delhi Sultanate aging up with 14 scholars, and also relics on the map are going to start getting picked off immediately.
Do we see Lancers, you think, right away? It's a really solid way of dealing with feudal Knights, is just to make Castle Age Knights, right?
Yeah, I mean, you got the units to heal them up as well, so you're able to get a lot of value out of your Lancers.
I don't think we see an elephant.
I don't think he's got enough for an elephant. Needs a lot more gold. First Relic is getting captured up. Looks like he's saving up for one, actually. No, he's making Man-at-Arms.
Huh. That's a thinker. That makes me think.
Yeah, it's not the choice I would have gone for. Two relics, second relic. Yeah, that's going to be a third relic now getting picked up as well.
Yeah, the Scholars pre-placed on all the relics. He's going to try and slurp them up. One was denied on this left side, but The army from Wam is circling around to the back of Beasty's base. This is an important moment. The army is there to defend. The scholars will be there to try and heal, but only a few spearmen are there. Here's the chunky boy gonna take the field. The production queue for Beasty is filled to the brim with technologies, and the question is, Wam on his way to Castle Age. Okay, this is just a distraction. Wam is going to be on his way to Castle Age to try and upgrade his knights, maybe get some crossbows out. He needs an answer to this elephant ASAP.
And behind this, actually, Wam is now in a position to start taking away some of the deer here from Beasty, so he's going to be able to extend his own food resources out of the map. Can we take a look at Beasty's villages right now, where they are exactly inside of his own base? I see still gathering up, he is still gathering up resources from underneath his TC, so there are still some deer there, but he should also be running low at the moment, as he didn't have that many scouts bringing the deer back in. And then he will have to get out on the map. And in the back of his base, there aren't any more resources. There aren't any berry patches there to go on. He already exhausted all of them. So we're actually getting to a point now where Beasty will soon struggle for food.
Yeah, and there's a big deal here as well, is that Beasty's also just giving up all forms of mobility. This investment into elephants, using scholars to fight with, means that these raids from Wam's knights, and once they become full knights, they're not going to be the early knight anymore very shortly.
He's getting in full relics now as well. That's a lot of passive gold income, and you're going to need a lot of passive gold income when you're up against the Roos, right? Like, they already have a lot of passive gold income working for them as well. That is a tough one. Both players got a good amount of archers. Beasty now investing into his second elephant. I guess he was really expecting the all-in play, maybe from Wam, to come in now at some point. But Wam now able to upgrade the knights, able to upgrade the archers.
But if there's enough elephants to frontline, I mean, the archers are essentially neutralized.
Yeah.
You can't do anything against them. It takes them way too long to kill anything.
Elephant. At least you can get crossbows in, but you're going to need a big amount of crossbows.
Need a lot of
crossbows. Are able to deal with them very effectively as well.
Beasty has a huge archer mass, which isn't going to be as afraid to move up because they'll have the elephants to frontline, but that is a lot of knights. Beasty doesn't have the numbers out just yet, still waiting for those elephants to train that RNQ. It's a huge amount of army population. Get some crossbows for Beasty on this side of things.
Yeah.
And on the other hand,
Wall off as well, some spearmen in there as well. Crossbows definitely are going to be necessary here, and Wam, as I mentioned, we're at that point now where Beasty is going to run out of food inside of his base. He started putting up a couple of farms now in the back of his base, so we're getting a farm transition behind all of these things now from him. He's getting, like, this is the point in time where all the upgrades are finishing up for him as well, so all the Castle Age eco upgrades are about to hit now.
Yeah, and he already has pikes, and he's now just getting the second tech for Bouncer learning, the sabers, so he's going to have +3 damage on his man-at-arms, which there's only 3 of them, but it's not nothing, and it could mean that the Lancer transition later is a little bit cleaner if he wants to sort of flesh out his army instead of just having elephants, but looks like elephants are going to be the play for now. Wam finding an opening into the base of Beasty. Beasty's army is behind his TC, just sort of letting his base kind of do the initial engagement for him so that the army kind of gets caught in this choke point, but maybe a little too far out of position. The Knights get an excellent charge onto the villagers of Beasty. Several will go down, but is it enough to really turn the tides of how this next fight might go?
It was only 2 villagers, so I think he sends a Knight even further in onto the berries, not the berries, onto the farmland here that Beasty had. Actually, yeah, he does notice. Knight is now getting the connection in. Beasty realizes, pulls the villagers back. That's a lot of idle time being cost here, and idle time always being super worthwhile as well here. Even though he didn't kill a lot of villagers, just the idle time in and of itself, doing a lot of work here for him, means that Wam, he's got time now to mass up his own military. The archers, they gotta be so careful up against the elephants.
Yeah, but the Knights looking for a charge. Beasty has walled his army in a little bit, trying to get that wall up, and here comes another raid, and if Wam just runs straight south, the lack of mobility on the side of Beasty could become a problem. Triple Wololo trying to deny this because just south of this is a huge pocket of villagers, and Wam, as if he could sense it, is going to be heading there. There are so many bills mining stone there. Does Wam notice? Yes, he does. He's going to split off to look for it. He sees the villagers retreating. Wam, does he have an opportunity here to deal massive damage? Not quite.
Yeah,
not quite.
He doesn't want to go for that fight, at least not with his army kind of split up. But at the same time, he's splitting up his own army, and now
the woodbine
is the issue, right? Beasty, he's got a very slow-moving military with the elephants. They're just not that fast of a unit now. And he's able to start picking off some villagers here on the side. Once again, idling out the woodline and completely spots out the elephants. The elephants are always the signal. Okay, maybe I retreat a little bit.
Still sending a couple knights over to that farmland. It's going to be a thorn in Beasty's side. And he's back at the keep just in time, says Beasty as he gets it up. But the knights going to have to retreat. Not really a great situation, actually, for Wam there. Losing a lot of knights to that timing. Could have been really cool.
Yeah, but he did manage to pick off a good chunk of the villagers there. This timing is getting better and better for Wam. Look at Beasty's food income.
Yeah, the lack of mobility and the lack of walls, the lack of defense is just really starting to become a thorn in Beasty's side because he's constantly trying to swing back and forth between this. The big difference between this game and the one between Anatan and Louis is that Louis just didn't have this big, massive unit staying alive. Anatan just kind of kept charging forward, forcing the issue and forcing the crossbows to trade against the archers. Here, Beasty hasn't gotten that engagement he's looking for, and the number of crossbows keeps going up. So we're going to hit that moment where the crossbows can really be a threat to these elephants if left undealt with, right?
Yeah. And Beasty is now going for siege. We're seeing the first mangonel coming in on his side. Wam still on mostly natural resource. We see the first couple of farms coming in here and there. But for the most part, still on good food resources. There's the first
mangonel reveal is in, so that will signal to Wam that there is siege on the field. That's one way to deal with the crossbows.
At this point in time, I'm kind of wondering, okay, what do you do now as Wam army composition-wise? I'm looking at it, I think, okay, maybe just frontline mass men-at-arms could be an answer here. Because at the very least, they don't take any bonus damage from the elephants, right? And they're able to tank up against the archers. They don't take bonus damage from the from the mangonel there as well. There's only a handful of crossbows. It's definitely a difficult one, a very tricky one, and there's just so many elephants. It's definitely hard to deal with. Village Fortress has just been researched, so now Beasty, with another keep inside of his base, able to really start re-booming here now in this one. Maybe this is the point in time for Wam where you just go for your own Imperial Age up play, actually. Just play into Imperial Age, because that's when you start unlocking the Bombard.
Yeah, and that could be a way to punish these keeps, but it's also a bit questionable. This is also when Delhi, if you back off too much, and you give Delhi just a moment to breathe, we could see an Imperial Age potentially, but like you said,
scholars.
He's got 23 food and 400 food per minute. I mean,
yeah,
it'd be a long time. He just keeps finding these farmers.
Yeah.
You'll only 10 bill kills, but the idle time, like you said, is adding up.
BC right now, he's just playing to stay alive, right? Like, he doesn't have a game plan at the moment. Or, well, not a game plan, but like, there's no immediate goal for him to reach. Right now, the game plan is survive. Maybe an opportunity arises. Maybe my opponent goes for an all-in and loses all of his units because I'm inside of my base camping with mangonels and siege and the keeps. That's his win condition right now. Wam making a mistake. His win condition isn't, he doesn't have a win condition that he can enforce. He's got a win condition to react to what Wam is doing. And I think the high armory now, with bombards, that could be the key breaking point here for Wam. If he gets like 2-3 bombards in, he's got a tool not just up against the mangonels, but also up against the keeps, up against the elephants. That would be the breaking point of Beasty if he loses those. Yeah,
and Beasty has really put the game on pause for a moment because he's built another keep and he will be building another one in short order.
That's some fast men-at-arms.
Yeah, the charging men-at-arms. They found a target and they're like, let's go! But not too much value to be here. There's a lot of crossbows.
Yeah, able to make sure a Sacred Site is stays locked in there for Wam. I mean, 3 Sacred Sites, it's 300 gold per minute, so he's definitely now getting a lot more gold as well, which he is going to need. And yeah, I'm thinking like with a couple of bombards, that's definitely going to be the key here for Wam's army composition that he needs in order to break Beasty's hold here right now. We're seeing double Siege Workshop as well, so it's definitely going to be a Siege play follow-up now from Wam.
Yeah, and that's probably going to be good. Bombard's also good against the elephants. You mentioned the mangonels and the keeps, but another archer there to help just deal with these big chunky boys up front. And the number of scholars, Beasty has 27, but nowhere near that age up. Mangonel's going to get a decent shot onto that cavalry mass from Wam, but Wam retreating, gonna back up, wait for that siege, wait for his upgrades, because this is now Beasty's moment to maybe come in for an attack.
Double bombards in queue now for Wam. We're seeing the elite upgrade being researched on the crossbows here behind this, also on the horsemen. That makes a lot of sense because you want to spend your gold on the siege, so crossbows, which don't cost that much gold, and horsemen, which don't cost any at all. That's got to be like your main army focus here that you want to use. More and more farms coming in from Beasty. I think now he realized, okay, if I can't follow up to Imperial Age here soon-ish, I don't have anything to deal with the bombards.
Yeah, he has to know that they're coming. It does take a minute to get them not only produced, but also in position to get all the upgrades. It's going to be another minute or two here before Wam is really able to put this show of force to the test against Beasty's big army. But the siege for Beasty, I'm still worried that, you know, Wam is going to be overly reliant on the crossbows to really be the thing that deal the damage. And there are still 4 mangonels on the field, and if he just gets caught off guard once, things are going to be really, really rough for him, I think.
It is, for sure. But Greased Axle's now also coming in. Beasty's got every single upgrade that's available to him in the Castle Age. Everything has been researched now. But what he doesn't have is any gold access, right? Like, he's only getting the passive golden right now from the relics. Other than that, he's got nothing. There's still 1 gold vein here, as Observer's pointing out. He's not moved on to that yet at all.
And Wam's also just lacking that splash damage right now. He is getting the bombards forward, but for the time being, it's just a bit hard to deal with these big, big armies of Beasty and Wam, right? But Beasty has the mangoes.
Yeah. More horsemen out on the field now. We're up to 19 here. All of them eliteed up. Can we quickly select the knights? He doesn't have Warrior's Fortitude yet.
Doesn't even have elite knight.
Yeah, he's got elite horseman though. That's where Warrior's Fortitude really works well.
Would matter, yeah.
Well. It's a very important upgrade to have. 4th bombard now also in queue.
That's
and
now in position.
Starting to come in. Now Beasty starts trying to rush up his own Imperial Age now as a follow-up.
The question for Beasty is, does he just let some of these keeps go down? He's got a lot. There is kind of the underbelly here being a bunch of houses and a bunch of relics exposed behind this keep. But the question is, does he want to even risk defending this, or does he just back up? He's got more keeps and more keeps to just keep defending behind.
Yeah. To a certain extent, he's got no choice, right? Like, a couple of keeps are definitely going to go down here. Palace of the Sultan nicely positioned all the way in the back of his base, else a landmark snipe might be a potential here as well for Wam. Timing-wise, he's got so many scholars. I'm kind of scared for Wam. It could be that BC's army could be getting a lead up before he even elites up on his knights.
Yeah.
Oh, the Relic's getting sniped up.
He did the thing! He did the thing! He walked into the mangonels!
Oh my God.
That was the one thing he can't really afford to do, and now Wam is going forward. He is going for the kill in on with the bombards leading the charge now.
He's taking the Relics potentially.
This could be huge.
So important. Being able to destroy all these buildings where the scholars are in means that he's going to slow down the research timing.
Oh, and a big conversion for Beasty.
No way.
Can Wam click in time? He was able to just barely click it. Oh my gosh, my heart almost exploded on that one.
And there we go. No elite upgrades in yet. The fight is getting taken just a little bit too
More.
early. Wololo again. This time he's got to leave the area. Cannot take the fight yet, but still able to fight here. All the elephants down. There's no elephants left.
With the mangonels still in position, they could turn and take a shot at any moment. The elite upgrade is on the way, or sorry, is in now. The crossbow's fully upgraded, it seems almost. But the mangonel shots, the bombard's not quite in position. Another desperate Wololo from Beasty is denied. More Wololos will be attempted. The backline for Beasty is simply vanishing under the weight of Wam's attack. More Wololos on the field. The bombards could simply deal with that though.
Oh, he gets a couple of horsemen in there. Not the end of
Completely
the world.
irrelevant.
Yeah, kind of irrelevant at this point in time.
But behind this, if Wam isn't winning the game right now, Delhi is still about to explode. The question is, does Beasty have the number of forces?
Yeah.
Does he have the number of units he needs to actually hold this? We're just starting to see critical upgrades for the mangonels come in. He's setting up.
Yeah, adjustable crossbars. It's on the way. We don't know exactly how far along that one is at the moment. 4.5 minutes. So it's still going to take a time. Right now, only 5 garrison scholars for Beasty. A lot of scholars have gone down. That is what needed to happen here for Wam. Because if Beasty had aged up with 30 of them, these upgrades could have already been in. And adjustable crossbars is a turning point.
Yeah, but even the place where that is being researched could go down. All of his production buildings here are here as well. Now, BC does have a 30 villager advantage, and he did manage to keep control over many of the relics, although he's not got all of them garrisoned at this time. Beasty able to use those villagers, just they're out on the sides of the map, so this central push is damaging. It is taking out these keeps, which are acting as town centers, but Beasty is essentially full macroed. 3k gold in the bank. Plenty of food income. Beasty is closing in on 200 population, except for the housing situation. Wam, though, comfortably popped thousands of resources in the bank to keep producing these soldiers. The Bombards taking out the Mangonels will be there. Don't have adjustable crossbars just yet. And here comes the Horseman mass. They are back, ready to dive now. There really isn't that much of a defense left for Beasty. All the keeps are devastated, and all of his farms are behind this.
Yeah, and he doesn't have the scholars right now to be able to research the blacksmith upgrades in time as well. No Pierce Armor level 3, so even though Beasty is now massing a ton of Ghazi, Wam, he's got incendiaries, and his archers are going to absolutely destroy the Ghazi raiders.
Yeah, Beasty with his back against the wall. This might be just simply the last fight, but it is not going to be enough. Wam pouring through here will be the next move. And pulls the vills, everything gets pulled. Let's go.
This is it, do or die, as every single villager now is getting pulled. Bombards, they're moving a little bit too far forward. Last elephant has been taken down though. Only 28 military remaining. There's the scholars, they're bringing the relics over. One gets sniped out immediately, second one gets sniped out, last one sniped out. All of them are gone. The villagers taking down the Bombards, or at least a couple of them. 3 still alive, and there is no way out. Wham, he's done it. We're now in the even series, 3-3. My God, in this best of 7, jeez.
And it's the last game.
It is. We're now on
the last game.
Point.
Wham just did it with Roos too, against Delhi. Something that players were saying was a counter. Beasty cannot be happy with that.
It worked.
Beasty probably thought that was a Civ win. Potentially? I mean, historically, no, but in this context of the tournament, I mean, at a LAN, all you think about are what the games are. It's not the same as an online tournament, right? Like, everyone's just thinking, what is happening here in the building? What has occurred?
Was this the first or the second Roos win? I think that's the second Roos win.
This is the second Roos win. Wham didn't just break the streak, but he did do quite well.
Yeah.
Take a look at these stats.
Yeah, what do we have going here for us? There it is, and we do see total resource gathered. Wham. I mean, considering just the big villager lead that Beasty had in the later stages, it's kind of crazy just how much Wham had of an advantage here when it comes to the resource totally. There were some big raids, right?
Big raids at 23
big raids.
there.
And I think most of the damage done there was mostly due to idle time as well in the villagers. Like, Beasty had to pull them time and time again, send them all the way around. And a lot of players, I think, they would have gone for the all-in. They would have tried to siege down the keeps. They would have tried to take army fights. Absolutely correct play there from Wham. 100%, A+, S tier, right? Just sticking back, taking your time, go for the H-up, get your bombers out, because then you have the army counter, then you get the counter to the siege, then you get the counter to the elephants. If you try to force fights before that, Beasty is just going to stick to the choke points, and you're going to lose to the Mangonels.
Yep, and we do see the clicking of keyboards and mice, the rapid movement of the hands.
Means that we'll soon be going into our next game. Now, this is French up against the Ottomans as well, so in theory, not a bad matchup here for Wham in this one. So the draft in the end did work out. Look at this beautiful overview here that we're getting as we're moving into Frisian Marshes now as our final game in this set between Beasty and Wham here at the Masters of Steel tournament.
Yeah, and the winner of this just goes on to the finals, just casually, you know.
Very casually.
Just very casually.
Absolute
This is a semifinal match, as they are, and interesting adaptation from Wham. Instant spear.
You see, does he think that this is happening? Like, he immediately sent 4 villagers out to the gold. Then again, looks like it is because he wants to get the early wheelbarrow in.
He might be just expecting this from prep.
Yeah, I think he's expecting this as well. Like, he's always going to have the option of canceling wheelbarrow. It takes a long time for wheelbarrow to come in. So if you notice, okay, I might need to cancel this, you do have that prerogative, and means that if your opponent doesn't Dark Age rush you, you get wheelbarrow. Congratulations. If your opponent Dark Age rushes you, you cancel it, and you're able to age up. Congratulations again.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot on the line here, and I'm wondering if BC is going to get caught off guard. Again, this Dark Age barracks, it's not something you see all the time. A lot of times you see players opting for just the safe standard military school opening with Ottomans, and you still get a spearman. They're like, I still get a spear. But this build against French has historically been quite effective because you get to the gold, and regardless of if you deny the age up, you still deny some early knights, which is exactly what they want from this.
Yeah, or pro scouts, because on this map, they've nerfed the sheep on the map. There aren't like this huge abundance of sheep anymore here on Frisian marshes, so resources, food rather, becomes a lot more important nowadays.
Beasty playing with fire here, letting a lot of his units get a little low. Wam, though, now has 2 spearmen.
Yeah, looks like Beasty wants to get a little bit more gold for another upgrade potentially, but now realize, okay, age up is the best he's going to get.
Yeah, he's going to have to wait till archers and then knights, which does really delay everything here, because the knights are going to be... It's going to be a while before he has like that lethal force that's going to raid. It's going to give Wam a lot of time to get his blacksmith set up, to get maybe his 2 military schools out in Feudal Age. It's going to just give him time to deal with things.
Yeah.
Prepare.
3rd spearman now also coming in. Wam to just move out to gold, so we'll soon be working on his own age up. Beasty's still going to need a lot of food for his own age up. And there it is, an outpost rush actually coming in now as well.
Between the 2 golds.
Yeah, I mean, makes a lot of sense, right? Like, ideally you want to deny both golds, and Wam, he's got enough stone to immediately upgrade the emplacement on as well, courtesy of just being the Ottomans. So that's something that could immediately cause pressure here as well. He doesn't need to send villagers out to gather stone, which he will eventually want to do anyways. You mentioned earlier, like, people ideally want to go for the military school early on. Not just because you get the free spearman that way, but also as soon as you hit Feudal Age, you're going to be able to immediately start queuing up the free Sapai as well. Just such a valuable unit in the game.
Yeah, that would be one of those, the negatives of this adaptation is that if you do go for the outpost air sled, you don't get the mill school. But I don't know, I think he's going to go for the outpost air sled anyway, because you just garrison the spears inside, and then you just have this forward control point. And on Frisian marches, you always spawn in this corner, right? And you always have like kind of these forests on the sides and on the edges, and you just feel kind of claustrophobic here now if you're Beasty, right? Your base space is really limited. You're always going to be reminded that your opponent is just watching you.
Looking at the range of the outpost, though, I think what Beasty could in theory do right now is just gather up a lot of stone, not stone, but a lot of wood, and then just rush villagers out to the 2nd gold, get an outpost in there of your own. Because the outpost from Wam, if he gathers it from the bottom side, is not going to be able to deny the 2nd gold, actually.
Right.
He's gathering up a lot of wood, so maybe an archer range into that play. That way the spearman can't deny it.
Yeah, that could definitely be an approach here. Beasty heavy on wood, probably for the range, right? An archer or 2 out.
Ooh.
Sounds like we are going into a remake.
Yeah, look at
Beasty
that. There's
did
no
not
stone.
spawn with stone.
Oh, okay. So early on in the game, we do at least see that. But yeah, this is not the stone, the main stone that Beasty would spawn with. The map actually just bugged out. You can see there's like small patches of wood there at the bottom. I think one of them spawned and made it so that the stone didn't spawn in for Beasty. So a bugged map means that we are actually going to be going for a remake here in this one.
Yeah, this is a an admin re or a player admin re, right?
Yeah.
Nothing else really there to analyze. We will be jumping into the same map, same civs, just to go right back into it.
Yeah.
I think the players will be launching that relatively shortly, and we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I mean, it got called early enough. It's in the rulebook, so you are able to call for a re when stuff like that happens. And of course, it's a little bit annoying, right? Like Wam did kind of expose that he would want to go for the Dark Age Tower Rush, and it's like one of those things. I mean, Wam can still do the same thing, right? Like, he can still do the same thing. He will still probably achieve the same result with the outpost once that goes up. Very likely, very likely. I don't think there's, like, a world in which Beasty would make his own spearman in the Dark Age as the French.
Could he not skip wheelbarrow?
He could skip wheelbarrow. Yeah, that's.
I guess that doesn't really necessarily achieve a ton.
It doesn't. It doesn't change anything. Maybe he could instead go for like keep enough gold in the bank to like get a first night out. That would be like one of the only real changes. Maybe invest into another economy upgrade. There's no huge, I want to say, like big key takeaway point here. We'll probably still see the early game kind of play out in a very similar, if not even the exact same way, I want to say.
Okay, well, it certainly shows that Wam brought the heat with that Ottomans opening. Let's see if in this remake, Beasty is able to manage this, and I'm not sure. I mean, Wam has the momentum. He is on track for the reverse sweep. You can see there the focus. He is a killer on the loose, And Beasty seems to be the target in his eyes. I mean, Wam is ready and prepared to head to the finals.
Yeah, I mean, this is cook or get cooked, and the question is who of these two players here is the lobster in this scenario, and Wam, he's looking hot, but is he looking hot enough to be called the lobster in this one?
Not sure. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Ottoman versus French.
I think
Final
it's still like that mid-game where like Ottoman has like a large unit, large army out there, Janissaries and Sipahi. That's such a good army composition. But now it is time, ladies and gentlemen. The rematch, or rather the rehost, is now live on the way. Once again, jumping into Frisian Marshal Series. We're taking a look at a beautiful, beautiful map here. A little bit of that light coming through the clouds there. And once again, we will most likely be seeing a very similar Dark Age opening here with the barracks from Wam up against Beasty, who is going for wheelbarrow again. So nice honorable move here from the players, going for the same idea here of the Dark Age once again. So means that this is just like speaks all the more to the fairness of the game, right? Like when they execute the same strategy again. Yet Beasty did pull a couple more villagers to the gold this time around. So
does he have stone?
He does have stone. He does have the bottom stone. So there's 2 stones now next to his base, and that is the normal amount. So this time around, that at least is fine. And we do see Beasty, yeah, he pulled a lot more villagers over to gold this time around. Last time he had 4. This time around he's had 6 on gold. Looks like he will want to actually get enough gold for a knight, potentially. Either that or like another economy upgrade. So a slight switch up here now after the rematch, after, yeah, no stone spawn in there.
Did he get enough?
It's not enough.
He didn't drop off yet.
If it's 70, then he's got enough for another economy upgrade. It's not enough.
Yeah, critically not enough. But that's an interesting thing. At least he has 50 maybe in case he needs Hardened Spear. Under some circumstance, maybe against
I'm going to quote Boltune once again. No, that's illegal. You can't make spearmen as French.
Okay, that's illegal. I forgot. I forgot.
Straight
Here's
to
the
jail.
outpost, same position, right in between the golds.
There we go. We're back where we left off around last time. Age-ups should be coming in now at the earliest convenience of these two players. Beasty, or rather Wam, just now moving out to gold as well. And now the question is, what's going to be the follow-up here from these two players? We mentioned it earlier, like I think the same thing applies here yet again. Beasty has the option with the distance of the second gold vein to just get his own outpost up, and he should probably be able to gather it from the other side of the outpost from Wam to where he can't realistically be hit with the outpost, even if an emplacement gets researched on it.
Yep, here is that School of Cav. Nothing surprising here. We're going to see probably the Twin Minaret on the backside of this for Wam, just for some easy food. Could be crazy to see the Caravanserai.
Yeah.
Caravanserai, sorry.
I mean, you could go for it in theory, but just with how the map changed...
yeah, it used to have the corner markets, and now there's just the ones.
Yeah, you have to... Not just that, but also just with how sparse food is. I think, at least for the Ottomans here, going for the Twin Minaret Madras just makes so much more sense. Getting so much more food in there as well. It's truly just an insane amount of food that you can have. Sure, you can only have a certain amount of villagers working on it at the same time, but the food, when you want to spam Sipahi in the mid-game anyways, up against the archers from your opponent, just makes so much sense. And there we go, Twin Minaret Madras gets replaced once, but is going to be the landmark of choice here now for Wam.
Let's see if there's anything interesting to really note. First off, we have the clear opening for for range here to get a couple archers out. The question is Beasty going to commit heavily to Feudal Age here? Probably. You probably want to get that massive units up and going before Wam is really able to get into like that mid-Castle Age swing. You probably want to end the game kind of effectively in Feudal Age. You want to at least obtain a large advantage in Feudal Age, right?
Yeah, that would be the most ideal thing here for Beasty, because Ottomans I want to say like they're very slowly ramping Civ. It kind of changed for a lot of civilization and a lot of matchups. If you don't have early knights, Ottomans are actually pretty fine in Feudal Age as well. Just like massing up Sipahi immediately, it's a big threat. Sipahi are an incredibly overbearing unit when it comes to their strength. They're like knights, actually, because with the Manor, they get to 3 ranged armor as well. They have so much health baseline that it takes like 2 more hits compared to normal horsemen from spearmen to take them down. do have some horsemen and archers now on the field from Beasty, more in production as well. No move out yet to him from gold. Actually, he is sneaking out a couple of villagers at the bottom side there. Out to the deer.
So yeah, going to be skipping. Obviously, he can't get, I mean, professional scouts. He has no real clean access to gold. Now, this is a huge risk. If we're going to see stables, if we're going to see Spahi, those villagers could just go down. So Beasty's going to have to build 2 outposts to defend those, which makes it a very expensive maneuver.
Yeah. And Beasty is now going to be moving out to that gold vein. Is just going to be moving around it onto the other side. Actually, no, he's actually going to be moving 1 tile further, or rather 1 gold vein.
Whoa.
One in the middle of the... That's even more risky.
Yeah, and we don't see spearmen, and we don't have knights.
Yeah, and
so there's no real answer to Ghazi, which are going to be the unit of choice from Wam.
Yeah,
so going to have horsemen against Spahi. Sorry, my bad. Against the Spahi is going to be crazy, right?
It is definitely, and that's going to mean that we'll need some outposts. I guess Beasty is already building an outpost there now on the gold vein as well, because he's getting one up on the deer, but he's definitely going to need one up on the gold vein as well. There's no stable yet, though, from Wam. He hasn't built one yet, so the first part is going to take a while with the military school to come in. He's been more focused on getting the stone that he needs for the second military school as well, maybe even enough for the third one.
What is that first choice from Wam here on the vizier points? Can we take a look?
It was a sheep, Anatolian builds, yeah.
Oh, I see them now. Yes. Okay.
No matter, no imam means there's no other way around it. There we go. Stable is now coming in.
Yeah, the choice for Spahi here. Not really that surprising. What's that in the back? Is that the barracks in the back?
That's another military school. He's doing some nice base building there where he's going to put the blacksmith right next to the TC.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And means that the age up, if he goes for it, he can also put it adjacent to the TC, to the corner there.
Yeah.
So a very nice and protected base. Good base building here from Wam with the Ottomans. Outpost has been placed as well behind this. So arrow slits. But he knows that the villagers went out onto the map. He knows what's going on there. Knights now coming in as well from Beasty. Means that Wam, right now, he just needs to mass up a bunch of Sipahi. If he gets a good Sipahi mass in, he can start diving there, realistically. But Beasty now with access to Knights, it's definitely still going to be tough to take straight head-to-head engagements with Sipahi up against Knights.
Yeah, it's a lot harder. Since Beasty really did send a lot of vills out onto the map here, he's really playing 2 economies, basically, and that left one, it feels like if something goes south militarily, this game will be over in an instant, but we'll see. Beasty does have 2 units out to raid. Not too much to find, though. If you could get to the back of the wood, there's probably spearmen here, surely, right?
Yeah. It looks like the
Wait.
first military school isn't in range of the blacksmith that has been built. We are getting some quick walls in here now from Wam. But yeah, he's not... Actually, never mind. He is actually in range. Yeah, perfect. Okay, he is in range with the military school there. Just not in range of the barracks, but you don't really need the barracks.
Yeah, it's not the biggest deal. It's the caster's curse. He complimented the base building and then...
I'm taking back anything positive that I said about Wam's base building.
Certainly not. Wam is playing so well here. It is really impressive stuff. And the Knight takes a lot of damage in the spot. You're going to be able to chase that down.
Yeah.
That Knight is... Oh!
You can chase it down.
I think that
Most importantly, this Knight did actually manage to kill a villager. And Beasty with the French, of course, slowly but surely is going to get a pretty decent villager lead anyways, just courtesy of the much faster villager creation on that TC. So the Knight is going to go down.
Did Wam maybe even idle? You shouldn't be 5 vills ahead right now, should you?
You should be, I want to say, like 3.5 villagers ahead at this point.
And then 1 died. That's where I'm just wondering if maybe, like he's at 7 right now.
Did he get textiles? Maybe he got textiles.
Maybe he has textiles now after the raid.
He doesn't. Well, I don't know what happened. I think, yeah, it is a pretty large amount of a villager difference gap there. So maybe that was some idle time. Could be the case. The nerves are on edge here right now between these two.
It's a tense moment. It's not the biggest of deals, but still, 7 villagers.
You're gonna be behind anyways up against.
Yeah, you're behind.
What's the difference 1 or 2 villagers makes? But yeah, Wam's right now. Yeah, it's pretty. But Wam right now, he's just massing tons and tons of Sipahi, up to 8 right now already. He wants to get a big mass of them going. Because in mass, Sipahi can actually...
She doesn't see this coming.
He does. He sees it. It's all
Well, he sees it, but I mean, like, mentally, he doesn't have units, like, pre-placed. He hasn't walled this little section yet. He might do so now.
I mean, you can't really pre-place units over there, right? Like, what are you going to place there? A knight? You want knights to raid. Spearmen, those are illegal, don't work. Archers, they're getting counted anyways by the horsemen, so you don't really have a reasonable unit to keep in the back there. Just got to make sure your knights are mobile enough to have them there in time.
Spy count... It's not alarming for Beasty yet. There are double stable, but I don't think Wam has been able to really afford to use both stables this whole time.
Nice little pick off there. Gets one of the archers as the reinforcements were trickling in there. Beasty's still just pumping out more archers and knights, and we're actually getting to the point. Oh, little raid there, but that was just a horseman. Didn't kill a villager. Horseman will get taken down. We're getting to the point where I say there's something pretty dangerous happening right now for Beasty. He's making too many archers. You only need around 12 archers to, or like 10 archers you need in order to start one-shotting the spearmen, or at least it's 10 longbows. It might be 11 archers to start one-shotting the spearmen.
I think he's going all in feudal. He has a couple of fishing boats. That's where his economic lead was coming from. That's why it was confusing. It's no idle time on Wam's side. But interestingly, I think he's just going to go all in here. He's going to have 2 stables producing knights, and I think that's his game plan, is get up to 15, 20 knights maybe even. Just try and take the map. And you mentioned in the pregame, you know, a scary thing is Wam getting out to Janissaries, and I think Beasty does not want to let that be the case.
Yeah, it could very well be. He is moving closer.
Oh, the villagers.
Shoreline.
Spearmen are pretty far away, but...
Oh, but this is it. You got to be so careful here with your military force, right? Because you do not have the mobility. Speaking of mobility, archers just getting obliterated. Oh my!
Oh my! A huge pickup for Wam, and now there aren't even enough archers left to one-shot, and so the rest of the archers get left behind. The spearmen still have a chance here against the knights, and now Wam looking at the finals with hunger in his eyes. He's pushing forward the Spahi. Now going to try and even get the surround on the knights. Beasty forced to kite with the knights, but is it going to be enough?
He just lost so many archers, but most importantly, didn't lose that many knights in the end. He kept the majority alive. With chivalry, he will be able to heal them up again. Wam, he does have a scout there, so he does see the knights even through the line, even through the fog of war with the stealth forest here. There is still 1 or 2 very weak knights here that he could pull off. A villager kill. Actually, he killed
5.
Beasty killed 5 villagers in the wood line. Wam didn't notice that.
I mean, we didn't either.
Neither did we. You're right.
Yeah, it's tough, right? But that's a lot of spearmen chasing down these knights. The stable has to get canceled. And Wam is still with a dominant military position, but 20 economic units behind. There are fishing boats on these small ponds.
Yes.
Just for shorefish. That is not the best long-term economy, but it is going to suffice for now, and I don't even think Wam knows.
Yeah. Oh, the illegal move. We're seeing the spearmen coming.
To jail. Straight to jail.
Straight to jail.
MIA, though, behind this. Wam with
more villager kills here. The knights, they picked up 2 more villagers here on the shoreline fish.
Wam, though, with basically no economy, is going to try and age up. He's going to have no food. He has no food.
Military schools. Who needs food?
You need food.
Ideally, you'd have food.
I guess he still has some sheep maybe from Anatolian. But still, it's going to be tough here.
It will be.
He made a lot of Spahi.
He's not in a position to punish this age up now at all at the moment. In fact, might even lose a couple more knights here now.
Oh, the Manor.
Not enough to body block here. But the age up is going to be coming in. Beasty, without the ability to punish this age up now, he is ahead economically by a lot, a lot.
I think he will punish something here, though, because his army is coming forward, and now I think he has enough knights to take this fight. And he messed up the micro once, right? Sure, Wam had an excellent engagement against him once, but is it gonna? Oh, but is he gonna get another good engagement like that? Like, is he gonna strike gold twice? Is what I'm asking here.
Yeah.
You think so?
I don't think so.
You think this fight will go well for Wam?
Going for a ram now. Beasty's gonna go for an all-in.
Oh, but the Knights gonna turn on the Spahi. The age up is in, but it's so long before you even benefit from this. Barely any gold in the bank, just enough to squeeze in your 2 veterancy upgrades on the Spearman and the Spahi. But here come the knights and the archers. The villagers on the gold, forced to retreat. This outpost is going to be completely nullified in just a moment, and soon we will have rams being built by Beasty. Spearmen as well to help deal just that little bit of extra damage.
The ram's inside of his base.
To deal with that first outpost, I guess. But my gosh, is this heating up intensely here. This is the match point, anyone's game. Anyone could take it here. This is spicy. 24 vills and another raid. I think he killed another vill.
He didn't. He didn't.
Oh, barely.
Villager is theoretically alive. For now.
I see. So this gold is about to run out, and BC needs to clean that tower up, which he will now do.
There's still a spearman inside. They could take down the ram, but without the Sipahi inside of his base, Wam might actually...
Well, where are the Sipahi? The Sipahi could be doing something more productive. They're currently looking for reinforcements, but they could catch some economy. Oh.
Yeah.
Wam has no
Wam,
food.
he walked all the way. He walked all the way, but there's a knight!
Oh, a knight on the gold!
No way! The Sipahi are moving over towards that,
Beasty
but so
found
are the
it.
knights. He's going all out there. All the units on the way.
Ram might get taken down here. Actually, no, not quite. It's going to take out the outpost. The villagers once again on the run, but keep in mind that is like basically a fourth of Wam's economy is on the move. That is a huge percentage. Beasty, with just a bajillion more villagers at this point, has everything he needs to go Castle Age behind this, and with Wam has one crossbow in queue. And once again, the knight is finding the villagers. How is Beasty finding these? The sixth sense is kicking in.
He's splitting up his villagers time and time again. Now Royal Institute coming in behind this. Beasty, his lead is stretching further and further and further. 16 villagers down now at this point in time. Things are not looking good for Wam. Military schools are good and all. He used the Janissary company now as well. 10 Janissaries.
But there's 25 archers on the field.
That is the issue, but you also have 13 Sipahi, veterans Sipahi. And it's going to take a while for Royal Institute to research bloodlines.
The army counts are even, and Wam has upgrades. BC needs to back up. He's going to be backing up. Here comes the army, though. Wam's going to force the issue. He knows BC might be aging behind this. BC has no units in queue. He has tons of resources, but wants to get his upgrades on these units. He's going to have to be retreating. Meanwhile, Wam looking to take the engagement. He has 20 spearmen, so the archers must stay alive, and this fight has to be extended. But where are the knights? The spearmen just barely able to defend in time. Oh boy, here come the Sipahi, though. Where are the knights?
Sipahi, they're not here.
Where are the knights?
They're not
Is this
here.
going to be a flank?
Coming in. Where are they? They're coming from
here they come. The heroic charge. The riders of Frohan have arrived.
But the Janissaries now coming in as well. Spearmen looking to be mostly cleaned up now.
Upgrades coming in.
Only on the knights, though.
The archers have to stay alive. If they go down, the fight will be a sweep. Beasty up 30 villagers, but can he hold?
There's the Janissaries. Look at them. They're just mowing down the knights so quickly. No way for them to survive. Wam with the military lead right now. Finding some villagers here now as well. Janissary's got to make sure they're not getting stuck on the outpost. That would be the worst thing for them right now to happen. But he's forced Beasty off here right now with the military force. He's getting an archership in instead.
An important moment here is about to unfold. If Beasty isn't able to win the next engagement, his villager lead will be for naught. Wam has the production behind this. Idle vills galore, but is it an issue for him? Meanwhile, the fishing boats, they get taken out, but there's barely any fish left. Oh, a demo here would just have won the game. If he had a demo instead of an archership.
If only. But instead, Wam, he's going all in or nothing right now. Archership is coming in, but the dog is getting taken down. Reinforcements getting picked off, though. Mangonel getting itself revealed. Spearman hitting there as well. Mangonel could get taken down here if not careful. Taking down
the army from Wam is immobile, and it is positioned in a spot that could lead it to being killed. The archers, whoa, bold move from the archers. They're necessary component to the army. Mangonel just barely not able to get a shot off. That could have been devastating for BC, but I guess he'll say calculated about that maneuver.
Oh man.
Villager count still growing for Beasty. Meanwhile, kind of feels like the stagnation that Wam felt. He's only gained 5 villagers in the last, 8 minutes.
Was a lot of tempo going for him, and the villagers on the deer there in the corner. And now the raid.
Another raid. The wood line.
Wam, he needs to pull the wood line. Workers away.
The push into the main of Beasty, though.
At the same time,
The archers.
there's no counter, there's no knights here.
There's barely any spearmen.
Enough of them there. No spears at all.
But the kiting, is it going to be enough? The forces of Wam are diving under the base of Beasty. No knights to defend. The wood line is behind there, and it could be a big issue. Beasty now going to try and garrison the TC to take care of these Janissaries. Are they in the right position or the wrong one? They're all going to go down, and that is huge because he can't afford to replace those.
Sipahi still raiding behind the stove.
But is it enough? He's down so many vills. Raids aren't what he needs. He needs to win the fights.
Yeah, he does still have the military schools working for him behind this, right? So with 4 military schools, there's a lot of passive production going his way right now. And the knights from Beasty, they might get caught out by the Janissaries here on the return. Potentially. Maybe not. Couple more vills going down.
The raid on the hunt on the far left.
He gets the hunt villagers!
He found the hunt.
A single Sipahi finding them here.
That's so huge. That's going to neutralize the vill lead if Beasty doesn't notice. Beasty has no food income, potentially.
That was his food income. The villagers suddenly turn around onto the Sipahi. Sipahi's just going to run away. And that's probably going to be a second Sipahi getting put there sometime soon, maybe a knight.
A desperate few minutes for Wam in the last, like, maybe 6 minutes. His age up could have cost him the game, but now he's basically nullified the game state. Beasty's up vills, but that's his natural advantage.
You don't have bloodlines yet. No royal bloodlines yet for Beasty.
Can't afford it. Institute is run dry.
It hasn't done anything. The landmark here might as well not exist yet.
Beasty actually has no food income or gold income.
0 gold. 0 gold. He's only on farms right now. He's made a good farm switch here behind this. But Wam, he's in such a great spot right now, even though there were so many villagers. Because look at this. Beasty, he sent all the villagers away just in time. Wam, he's not going to the corner.
Beasty's not making knights. Beasty's not making units. And Wam still is producing siege. Even Temerian Cav Arch. He's got the Cav Archers coming in.
Oh, we're getting Cav Archers. Well,
Kite the knights. Kinji, yeah.
The thing is, Akinji, 3 of them in Castle Age, one-shot villagers. They're probably one of the most potent raiding units in the game. They're not the best as a backline, though. Maybe you can use them here as... Oh, he's finding
He finds the economy again! Or does he?
Does he? No. Wham! Wham! Just looking, just passing.
Meanwhile, loses more vills of his own, but look at the vill kills. It's almost even.
It is.
After all those villager kills.
Oh.
He sees it.
Oh, no.
Is he going to know to go to the stone here? Sees the road. The road. Follow the yellow brick road.
Please.
Follow the road.
There's a road.
Follow the road.
The road only appears.
The road tells you where to go. Oh, and he walks away. The player's so focused on this
fight. This is the perfect moment in time now to look at this, right? Like, look at
raids everywhere. A keep going up to defend the gold. The villagers from Wam in danger on the run here. Ships getting taken out in the center of the map. So much is happening. These players are so focused.
They are indeed. Villagers, though, trying to rush up a house now. Need to get pulled away, though.
He's killing so many vills.
Yes. They're still not getting pulled. Other houses.
30 vill kills. This is a bloody match.
It is. It is incredibly bloody here. Wam's still patrolling around on the sides, but Beasty has been so smart with where he did his farm transition, right? Like next to the deer.
Behind the keep,
like,
yeah.
Behind the keep, yeah. At the corner of the map, or either side of the map there. And Wam, yeah, he's got 0 food.
Wam's villager count has gone down since 18 minutes.
It's not gone up for sure.
It hasn't gone up.
Time for another keep as well.
Yeah, closing in on another keep.
Gold.
He has enough stone for that keep, actually.
He does. Or are these getting close to?
Well, with French, yeah.
The first stone he didn't have on the first keep he didn't have on the production buildings. I guess the next one he wants to get on the production building.
Here's the big fight. We're going to take the engagement. Beasty has more numbers, but Wam with the army value, he has it all in one position too, taking out this town center. The Springfields are in position. They're going to be able to deal with the backline of Beasty, but Beasty just going to be trying to wait for this TC to deal the damage, I suppose. Maybe, is this going to be enough? Is he relying too much on the town center here to deal the damage?
Center focused down the Springfields as well. The Springfields still about short.
He go for the dive, but they're maybe taking too much time.
Yeah, it's not the best
Too much time on the TC. Meanwhile, the raids behind are still killing villagers.
And behind all of this, all the Springles have been taken down by the TC. Just one remaining here. Knights at least that were raiding.
Wow. An incredible defense from Beasty.
Oh, man. And behind this, I mean, right now, there's just a fight now being taken by Beasty without any gold units here at all. Doesn't even have enough upgrades, or not enough gold to upgrade the Spearmen here. Archers now able to take down the Janissaries at this point in time. Janissaries able to get away, and the Akinji, they don't really do enough here.
Beasty has it. He's got 30 more villagers, now double the army production. Look at his production queue. He's actually able to push units out. The farm transition, he survived that long. The raids on the south and the left side of the map were not enough. Wam did not find all of the villagers he needed to, whereas Beasty has denied that left side for just so long. Oh my gosh, that's desperation for food, just sending half the economy to Shorefish.
Yeah, but look at it. It's working out. He's now at 1,600, 1,700 food per minute. Just suddenly getting so many resources in. We do.
Well, that will last 2 minutes with 3 Shorefish.
Yeah, it's not going to last a long time.
Yeah.
But
oh no.
Raids. Now
oh
raids.
No.
That is going to be at the perfect moment in time. Is Beasty going to take a look at the shoreline and just going to straight beeline it over to the gold? It looks like he is.
He's going to find it. Beasty's actually adding in scouts. He knows there must be economy out here. He wants to find the villagers. Will he, though? Is he even going to think that it's the Shorefish? Wam gets the warning. Will retreat.
Wam, he does now have a lot of food, at least in the bank. Now moves out to the gold mine here instead.
His production is like empty now. His queue, not building anything.
Yeah,
Beasty with double the numbers.
And he suddenly set the, it looks like he set the military schools over to crossbows, but his opponent, Beasty, he's just started massing in the horsemen. Akinji, questionable choice. Questionable choice.
He hasn't mined gold in like a while.
He hasn't for a good bit. Now he's got 33 villages on the gold, so he's going to make up for it. But yeah, Beasty also hasn't mined gold for a while. Neither of them have for a long time. These horsemen from Beasty, are they also just still feudal?
They're feudal. They're not vet. They don't have the luscious coats.
Horsemen, and we also don't have royal bloodlines. And yeah, that's a thing.
The Royal Institute hasn't done anything.
Not so far. Look at it. We're 27 minutes into the game. Neither of these players have gone for relics yet.
Yeah, it's been too messy, too important, and now Beasty with the larger military has kind of taken a moment to just back off, maybe overestimating Wam's position just a little bit. You think he's just a little too afraid? Do you think he should have pushed out here, or do you think this is the right play?
I think just like pushing with a couple of horsemen here is definitely the right play, especially considering Beasty does have a good and solid replenishable food source at this point in time.
Does Beasty have defenses in the south against that raid?
He is sending something over there. We're now also getting veterancy in on the horsemen from Beasty, so we'll get some more value in over there. Archership over there on the pond, so nothing big there. It looks like there's a keep going up.
Will it go up? Will it go?
It will. He's not going there.
It will go up. Okay. That could have been. That's huge. That's going to secure an 8K, which means Beasty can start getting more of these upgrades. Veteran horsemen on the way. Now Archers back in production. The farm transition for Beasty. Wham, the Shorefish are out, down to 42 food per minute with 14 food in the bank. No way to actually produce units outside of the military schools unless he's able to get back to the Shorefish, because there's no shot he's going to do a farm transition anytime soon with the number of vills he has.
Yeah, finally getting some matters out on the field yet again. Wham, now, it's always a switch up at the moment with the economy for him, right? Like wherever he's sending his 33 villagers out on the map,
is the resource
he's getting
he has.
The food or he's getting the gold, exactly. Right now he's got a lot of gold. I'm gonna say like maybe if he's able to find his way up to Imperial Age, because we know Ottoman Imperial Age can be kind of crazy. It's crazy, absolutely.
A little cracked.
A little bit, just a little bit cracked, yeah. It's a little bit intense.
Oh, we got the early Great Bombard from the...
That's probably necessary, as he knows that his opponent right now, he's got
this knight is about to find out. Or wait.
He tanked a good amount there.
Yeah, that was surprising. But I guess it does a lot less damage. It's not a full Bombard yet.
Beasty with the second TC behind this now as well.
He's feeling confident if he doesn't think he needs to make military right now. The archers are defending at home, so with a bunch of spearmen, and he's just making these horsemen to raid and keep the villager count low. The raids, however, haven't killed that many vills. Beasty had 31 vill kills, like what, 20 minutes?
Yeah, and Wam,
so it's been 9 minutes of like relative survival from Wam. But I feel like it takes one lucky strike from Beasty to find kind of basically half the economy of Wam.
Yeah.
If he does.
Don't have any more Springles out, but Beasty now is at 20 spearmen. He's now also finally getting in the veterancy upgrade in on his spear, so they're going to be starting to look a lot better there as well. Keep is starting to fire onto the units here.
Bombard's rolling forward, isn't it?
Yeah,
this GC was just built.
Oh, Villager, another big raid now from Beasty. Finds a lot of the villagers here on the gold vein. They're just gonna get pulled forward now.
These villagers happen to be able to kind of run away from this to this point, but the Bombard in position, Beasty's gonna be forced to take a fight with that Bombard on the field.
He is, yeah. I mean, he's gonna take a fight, but he's got the units for it. He's almost at 100 military now.
If he takes a bad fight, there's a lot of Janissaries. 20 Janissaries will shred the Horseman mass if he's not careful. Mangonel could deal with the Archers and the Arbalist. So Wam still has a threatening force. You talked about this. This is the kind of force that maybe French doesn't match up great against.
He's surrounding him on all sides now. Beasty's going for the fight. There it is. That is the big fight that he's been waiting for.
The fight of the game. The road to the great finals.
And there we go. Mangonels are trying their best, shooting onto the infantry mass there. Bombard is getting taken down. Horseman making sure of that. Mangonels getting their last couple of hits, and Springles getting taken down. Mangonels doing their best up against the range mass, but it's just too much here as Wam's entire military force has been cleaned up. Mangonel coming up from Beasty as well. Those Sapahi are jumping onto that Spearman mass, completely cleaned up. Janissaries still out and alive, but against 30 archers, that is not the military composition that you need. And Wam now, having been completely cleaned up, needs to run away, but the archers are just simply too fast. More Janissaries getting taken down on the retreat. There's no way up to Imperial Age for him as well at the moment. More farms coming in now, getting added in for Beasty's economy is looking rock solid. Wam's none at all.
Yeah, Wam was just scratching his head there at the end of that fight. What went wrong? Why wasn't it enough? And can he still win this game? It's looking dire. 22 military, 100 vills to 50, almost doubling the economy. Wam has been grabbing some relics, but is it going to be enough here with so many units on the field now from Beasty?
Certainly not, and Beasty is pushing in further and further now. Outpost, last line of defense here. We got some knights that are going to be able to at least hold out here for a good bit longer with the Manor there as well. They're going to be able to tank up a lot of damage here from the archers. Is it going to be enough though? Archers stepping up front are going to be able to pick off the Manor, so no longer will that defense bonus work here for him. Knights now having been picked up completely as well. There's no real military force remaining now from Wam. 15 to 53. Springle getting sniped. More knights here at the front side, but all the Janissaries getting picked apart. And Beasty now relentlessly pushing further and further into the base of Wam. Wam, no farm transition
nothing
yet.
left.
He said there is nothing left.
Nothing left
to fall back onto.
Push to the limit. And GG!
My God.
Beasty with a big grin. On his way to the finals. What a way to finish it.
What a slugfest, man. Both players right now not giving an inch here. A great game between Beasty and Wam here, going all the way to game number 7. And man, what a set this has been. What a series.
That was on the ropes. Wam almost completed. Almost. He was inches away from that reverse sweep. So close. And Beasty now has secured his place in the finals of Masters of Steel.
Yeah, Wam though. You can't feel bad, right? With this performance, you cannot feel bad if you're Wam. He's been performing absolutely incredible here at the Masters of Steel event. And Beasty now deserved getting into the finals after this one. Clean performance here from him. Looking at the graph here, the economy count, all of these raids time and time and time again coming in. Looking at that big food disparity here, the early farm transition. Wam just keeping him inside of his space, but Beasty, he was content with just sticking to what he's been given, getting a couple of farms in early on, and just working with that. Continuously raiding behind it though.
I think he was on 29 gold for like 8 minutes.
A long time.
Just making horsemen to push out and doing a farm transition behind it, and adding. That was while he was getting the stone mostly with his miners, right? Incredible stuff. Wam was so close to finding massive pockets of villagers in some of those situations, and if he had just spotted them with the spy, if he had followed the road,
could have been the game.
It could have been the game. It could have been it.
Yeah. It's so difficult,
close.
right? Like when you're so focused on the game and you have the Sapahi there, but you just don't look at them. There are so many things going on at the same time.
So many things.
And Sapahi saw like 20 villagers on the stone, on the shoreline fish, but there just wasn't the presence of mind at that point in time. There were so many things going on. It was only a move command, not an attack command. So Wam not able to find those villagers there on the outer resources.
Yeah, what an incredible game, Crackety. Beasty secures the position. Wam will be going to. He's not fully out of the tournament, right? There is the third place match tomorrow, right?
Yeah, that's right. There is still a set happening for the third spot here, after all. So not out quite yet. Still able to compete for that third place, after all. And yeah.
Before we are starting the really nice interview with Mr. Winner, I need to tell you, everyone, all of you viewers, that we are doing quiz questions after this interview. So be in the chat, because there are like amazing stuff that you can win. You can win an amazing mouse. This SteelSeries Rival 3 wireless mouse. Looks sexy, right? I love it. Very nice mouse. Then we're gonna have a SteelSeries Arctic Nova 3 wireless as well. Amazing, right? Then also, so these are all today. Like, we're gonna have 2 in breaks. So we're gonna have mouse pads written by your favorite players, just like next to me. BC written somewhere, I'm pretty sure he did. It's here, so you can win these as well. Looks really good. I might steal one. I'm just joking, I'm not gonna steal one. So for the games, Beasty, we have talked yesterday as well, and you asked me what's going to be the score, and I told you it's going to be 4-3 for you. So are you a little bit creeped out?
Yeah, he actually said it's going to be 4-3, and I was like, I don't know about that. And well, he got it right, and he got the previous score right too, right?
Yes, correct.
The group stage score, so... I don't know. I just hope he says I'm gonna win in the finals. That's what I'm going for right now.
Well, I will think about it if you will. I'm just joking. All right, next. Let's see. First game. It was Cliffside. It was Zushi versus Jeanne d'Arc. Were you a little bit confused by Jeanne d'Arc pick here?
I mean, it's really hard to say what like the players are thinking, right? Maybe he thought I would use a really good civ and wanted to use one of the weaker ones. Maybe he wanted to counter something. I'm not really sure, but you know, when I saw the matchup, I was like, okay, it's pretty good for me, right? So ended up taking that one. It was pretty straightforward. I think just pro scouting into mass units and kind of attacking when the goal worked out.
It was a little bit scary for me because most of the times. He was using Jeanne d'Arc really well. He was gathering all the experiences and everything. And when you pushed him into his base, I don't know, maybe he forgot to put his Jeanne d'Arc in a hold position, right? Because he was 2 times very, very close to level 3. 2 times very, very, he just needed a little bit of XP, but you sniped the Jeanne d'Arc and you did not let him to get the level 3, right? And he even rebooted 2 times. I'm pretty sure it was 2 times when he rebooted Jeanne d'Arc, spent all of his gold while he could have age up.
Yeah, I think she died 4 times in total, 3, 4, something like that. So,
ooh, yeah.
So yeah, I think just sniping JD in any kind of like feudal matchups is super important, because if she levels up like at this point, then the game becomes a lot more problematic. But yeah, I thought the game went pretty well. Like I said, kind of went as planned. This is how usually this matchup goes, except Jushi has like a faster age up timing, I guess.
All right, next map was 4 Lakes. It was Mongol versus KT. Well, you were a little bit familiar with this because I'm pretty sure you played against Louis on this map. So were you really, really comfortable, or were you a little bit of scared of this Dark Age Rush? Because I'm pretty sure you've never seen this before.
So I actually did play against Doc into Barracks from KT, and well, I figured he obviously watched the games. Me versus Louis was the same matchup on the same map, so he probably knew what I was going to do. So I was like, okay, he will either try something new, like Barracks first, or Dock into Barracks, or he's going to try to defend differently, like maybe with faster walls. And then when I saw the Spearman come out, I was like, okay, it's this type of aggression. So I feel like he didn't do too much. I'm not sure how the game looked like, but yeah, he destroyed the dock. The fishing ships were idle for about 30 seconds, but I got that back online. And he also had to win the chandeliers, as I like to call them, which kind of surprised me a little bit. But I guess maybe, I'm not sure if this is his style on 4 Lakes, or he wanted to force me into like a different kind of game. But Yeah, I still felt pretty good about it.
That was really amazing that you sniped the villagers. He tried to build a dock many times. But now it is important to talk about this scene, because I'm pretty sure you would have not even expect, but there are like half of his army, like there are more units, even that, more than that. But they are stuck. And why are they stuck? What do you think? Why are they stuck?
That's a good building placement right there.
But why are the units stuck that not coming to this fight yet? Is it because of your deer stone? All of his reinforcement stuck in his base because you put the deer stone, and they were still torching, and that's not his full army.
Yeah, so whenever like you play Mongol in general, not just on this map, if you're not getting use out of deer stone, you just put a rally point between you and opponent, and a lot of people use like select all army to add to control groups.
Yes.
And then when they do, they're A moving, they're microing, and then the units get stuck on deer stones, which is pretty funny. So it's kind of worth losing it, but
look at that. Look how many all those units were stuck. I think it was really critical that he couldn't push with his whole army, right? And yeah, well, it's ended.
I mean, it's all about timing, right?
Yeah, it's all about timing.
If you age up an opponent's massing army has to do something, and then at the same time here, I was like, well, I don't need to make towers because the water's pretty close. I'm just going to make archer ships.
And it worked really well. You can see how many archers are just fall down. All of them died. It was a really amazing play. All right, let's go to the next game, which was Coastal Cliffs. It was Malian versus House of Lancaster. Honestly, I was a little bit scared. It looked like he's doing an insanely good job with all the push, with all the raids and everything. But I felt like not going into the maximum manors in time, that was his a little bit mistake. But did you feel comfortable in this matchup?
Yeah, actually, I thought it would be like not a free win, but I thought I was super favored in that one. But it actually got really difficult at one point, and I was like, oh god, if I lose this one, that's not good for the rest of the draft. So, like I think the game started off well, but I just didn't feel like I was in good spots. I'm not actually sure. I have to rewatch this. Also, I wasn't sure where my third gold is. Apparently, it was in the middle of the map because I was like, did I not scout or what's going on? So yeah, like around this point, when he was like attacking, I was like, okay, this is not supposed to go this way. Like I'm supposed to be attacking him at this point like this. But yeah, the longer the game went, I felt very comfortable because obviously it's, you know, Imperial or super late game, so I felt pretty good. And then once my raid started doing damage, that's when he kind of started falling apart a little bit and kept losing villagers left and right.
Yeah, that's a good assumption of the game, because there was like a huge push as well with the yeoman later on in Imperial. When he pushed with the Culverines, you loses all of your bombard, right? All of your bombard, you lost all of them. He has 5 Culverine, he has 50 yeoman, and just pushes towards the landmark, the H4 landmark. Were you a little bit scared of this army composition when you seen it?
So this moment right here that's on the screen, I actually forgot that he has the ability like on his units. I completely forgot. And when I ran in and it like went out, I was like, oh god, that is not good. But at this point, like now that you're aware, it becomes a lot easier to micro. So like I said, at this point, I was feeling good. Like against Malian, I mean, you can make spearmen, but I had like 80 archers, I think. So it wasn't that big of a deal. And also, Rebaldaquin, Culverin siege that he can make is also not that great against Malian. So I just feel like it's a good matchup for Malian in general.
All right, so let's go to the next game, which was mountain clearing. Now, mountain clearing. We've seen Japanese on mountain clearing a multiple times, but it was so... I'm not saying like unfair, but it was so unfortunate that the boar spawned on his side, because everyone was asking like why Beasty is picking Japanese. I was like, he's picking Japanese because he wanna go for the boar. They were like, no, he's not going for the boar. Of course he's going for. That's why he picked Japanese, right? But at the same time, I saw your face. You were so disappointed that the boar is on the other side, and also you lost a villager. Did you feel you could have come back into this, or?
Yeah, I mean, the whole like start of the game was just a clown fiesta. Like if that's a ladder game, I just leave. because that's just like, okay, I'm out. But yeah, basically when you're going towards the middle, first of all, the sacred site was kind of far from both of our bases, which is also not what you want, right? If you're going for the boar. But also I kept scouting and I don't see the boar. I'm like, okay, it's on his side. So let's pray he's not like pulling the scout. And then I see the scout and he's pulling it away. And the problem is I'm trying to get aggro, but you don't want to kill it on his side. You want to pull it back, but you can't. And then I lost a villager and I lost another villager later on. And I was just like, this is just a disaster of a game.
By the way, do you regret this moment when you put 7 villagers to repair the stable, or you think that was the right choice?
The game was over anyway. I just kept playing, but I feel like this is a pretty rough situation. I think he aged up to feudal and castle faster than me, and that should like never happen, right? So.
And that was the moment where the game has been decided. That's what I feel. When the spring goes rolls up, when he has all the cameras to protect it, you couldn't have see the siege workshop because there was no siege workshop. He went up with the reinforcement, so he made all those siege by the camels. So. Yep. Do you think there was like any chance after this fight, or it was like, okay, this is completely over?
No, I mean, I don't think there was a lot of chance after the boar incident. So.
All right, next game, which was region HRE and Byzantine. What was this kind of second TC play? You tried to invent something different, or is it a secret practice, or what was that?
I mean, after game 3, it was a little bit of a disaster. So I was, obviously when you do a spear rush, you want your opponent to have something forward, but so he had berries back, gold back, and then both wood lines on the side, which means you have to go all the way around.
Yeah, all around.
So I was like, okay, well, this is not a great start. And then I should have made 5 spearmen, but I made 3. I was kind of greedy, and then he ended up killing my spearmen. The tower got canceled, and I was like, all right. So I didn't really know how to follow that up because it was just, again, a terrible, terrible start. So I tried the 2TC because I was like, maybe he won't expect it, and if I just manage to get the TC up, I maybe can come back. But again, disaster straight away, and I lost, I think, 2 villagers or 1. Yeah, 2 villagers, and I had to pull more, and honestly, after that, there was a point where I'm like, wait, maybe I can do something here, but yeah, he just had too many units.
So, do you feel like this second TC do you feel like this was worth it to try here, or if you just go back in time, would you just play 1 TC rather and make the 5 spearmen as you mentioned, or would you still play 2 TC?
I would just make 5 spearmen and that's it. Like maybe I would do pro scout, maybe I would just feudal fight without pro scouting. I'm not sure, but 2 TCs is just because I was behind, right? So I tried to do something there, and I feel like if TC went up, he couldn't really harass anything for a while, but because I had to pull like 20 villagers to build a TC, then it's a lot of idle time.
All right, let's jump to the next game, which was Dry Arabia, and I gotta tell you something funny about this. So we were watching the game, we are in the hall, right? All of us, literally everyone is just sticking their eyes to the screen, and after like around 10 minutes and 11 minutes, I was like, okay, this is a Beasty win, so I'm gonna go prepare for the interview and everything. So I'm sitting down here watching the game. I was like, I came too early. What happened in this game? Where everything went wrong?
So I don't really know. Like this matchup is good for Delhi, and I felt like it was going well. And at some point, it just felt like I'm just defending. I'm just sitting in my base. I'm behind. Even though I had, I think, all 5 relics, it just didn't really feel good. So I don't know. Actually, I'm very confused about this game. Obviously, he played it really, really well. But yeah, I mean, the previous 2 games were a bit unfortunate starts, right? This one, I feel like I had a good start, but something seriously went wrong. So, yeah, I'm not sure. I actually have to rewatch.
All right. Well, yeah, honestly with you, I was a little bit confused as well because, I was like preparing, getting dressed and everything. I was like, okay, so we're going to start the interview very, very soon. And the game drags and the game drags and the villagers goes down and the villagers goes down. I was like, oh no, I have to watch another game. Well, and we go to the last game where something happened on Frisian marshes. It's a secret, but we will tell you. So what happened is we were watching the game in the hall, and at 1 minute, I'm like, wait, something is wrong. I'm watching the screen, because, as a person who does the interview and analytic as well, I need to always see, how's the spawn, if everything good and right. So I was like, wait, something is wrong with the spawn, right? And I'm calling, asking the admins as well to, guys, check the spawn, because I think that's weird, right? And the weird thing was that Beasty spawned without 1 stone, which was I don't know, does it need to be restored or not?
Yeah,
just ask the players, because this is unfair, in my opinion.
Yeah, I had no starting stone. It wasn't even the second one. I just didn't have the first stone at all. It didn't spawn, and I didn't even realize. And yeah, they just came in and they were like, "You don't have stone," and I was like, "Oh, I didn't even see." So yeah, we were, because obviously if you spawn without resources, it's a remake. So that is what it is.
It is what it is. And the players got asked, so it wasn't even the players who were complaining about the spawn. It was actually the admins just stepped in time, because I'm pretty sure there's a time for a recall as well, how long the game has to go. And the first 6-7 minutes of the game, it literally played out the same, right? So that's perfect.
Yeah, nothing really changed. I think we got almost identical amount of sheep. And the golds were actually the same. You put 1 tower.
Yes, exactly.
Golds. So I got a Beasty special too.
The Beasty special.
It is what it is. Because I was actually thinking it's kind of unfair if in remake 1 gold is back and 1 is forward. But yeah, shout out to the AoE 4 RNG, and I got the same spawn twice.
So. Were you really comfortable in this matchup? Because I feel like Ottoman is kind of good against French, or no?
Yeah, Ottoman's very good against French, and this map is also a little bit tricky, right? Because you can go for pro scouting, but deer are kind of super far, and the first deer pack only has 5, so you kind of don't want to do that. My golds got blocked, and then your third gold is super far away. So I wasn't super comfortable in this matchup. Another thing is Frisian has little food, right? The food is out there.
Yes.
And
spread
Ottoman can spawn sheep, and they have twin minarets. So I was like, well, I'm going to be the one running out of food first. So yeah, it got pretty iffy, when I did the first push and all my archers got mowed down, and I was like, oh god, I cannot believe I was 3-0 up and I'm about to get reverse swept. So then I said I lost, and then the mode activated, and I was like, I have 1 horseman, I'm just gonna go raid. I have 1 knight, I'm just gonna go raid. So I kept raiding, and I feel like I killed a lot of villagers throughout the game. And when he did this dive, I was like, okay, this is gonna be very good for me, because I kept targeting Springles with the TC. So I garrisoned all the farm guys into the TC, and then I just kept killing Springles, and I was like, I'm just going to wait here. I had a keep on the bottom, so he couldn't really dive through. So I was like, I'm just going to wait, and because I had a lot of knights raiding at the same time. So.
But at the same time, you had the stone as well to drop a second keep. Did you wanted to drop the keep in the production buildings or the archer range in the stables you had?
Well, the first one I dropped at the bottom because of the farms. The second one I wanted to drop on the gold. But then I was like, okay, I'm getting pushed. I can't really do that. I don't need gold. I just got to make units. So then the second one, I think I dropped here. And then the third one was on the gold. But when you play games and when you see the opponent's arm, it's 40 units. And then the next time you see it, it's 45 units. Then you're like, okay, he's not actually producing a lot. So when we had this fight and going into the next fight, I saw he has less units than I do. At this point, the major fight. So I knew that his economy is probably really, really bad. And yeah, I just did I tried to do a 360 surround and just get a really, really good engage. But even if I lost this fight and just traded out, I had 50 villagers on food. And I knew he had no farms.
Ooh,
so
that was very beautiful, by the way. That fight was very, very beautiful.
Thank you.
Swarming around your cavalry, just choking it, focusing out the Janissaries as well. These games are insanely good to watch. You just sit down and you're watching them oh my god, Age of Empires 4 is such a nice game, right?
Yeah, and it's so hard, man. Like these guys, like everyone's just so good. Like honestly, anyone could have been in top 4 here. I feel like, and there's been so many close games and close matches. It's kind of insane. You know, we've been saying for a while, like the competition is getting harder and harder. But I feel like this tournament it is as hard as it got so far in the past 4 years. So
yes, this tournament really pulled out the beast from everyone. So I'm really surprised, and it's so nice to see. Well, before we gonna go to do the quiz games for the really nice stuff that I'm gonna show you just in a second. Last question from you: who do you want to play against, Marine Lord or Louis?
Honestly, I have no idea. Like on one side, it'd be cool to play Marine Lord because the last time we played it was very one-sided. So actually, all the players that I've played in this tournament, except Wam, I lost recently too. So it's good to kind of get that win. At the same time, I feel pretty comfortable against Louis. So I mean, I hope the better player wins, right? And hopefully the finals is going to be good.